Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning. More rumors floating around of maybe there are discussions happening between the Democrats and the White House when it comes to possible further aid for the coronavirus and COVID-19 relief. The two sides apparently spoke yesterday. Speaker Nancy Pelosi's chief of staff tweeting late in the day saying the two sides spoke for about 40 minutes yesterday discussing the possibilities and whether or not there's even an opportunity to come to some sort of an agreement. So positive momentum on talks, possibly a little bit more than yesterday anyways. Also positive momentum coming from vaccine-related news this morning. Genmark Diagnostics saying the FDA has given them emergency clearance to run a test that screens for flu, coronavirus, and other virus. So not necessarily vaccine-related, but more positive testing news on the COVID-19 front. Individually this morning, GE shares higher on a Goldman Sachs upgrade. We have cannabis names back in play. Couple of days now to the upside for the entire cannabis sector. And we'll have a look at GameStop shares. Big move up yesterday late in the afternoon following rumors, or not rumors, but an actual announcement of an agreement with Microsoft, multi-year deal between GameStop and Microsoft. It's Friday, October 9th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see a bit of a negative showing here outside of India and Korea, the only two in positive territory. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Mostly positive, top to bottom. Spain, the only one struggling there. Let's shift over to North America and see more positivity here. As I mentioned, you can see the NASDAQ back to the upside once again. Tech stocks leading so far, only just though. The S&P also 0.6% to the upside. TSX futures here in Toronto higher. Bitcoin higher once again today, both crude oil and gold. Well, crude negative now. It was positive when I sat down first thing this morning. Good morning, guys. It's Friday. Heading into Thanksgiving long weekend on this side of the border. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians watching the show this morning. We will be here on Monday, even though it is a holiday on this side of the border. But U.S. Thanksgiving to come in November, obviously.
There we go.
A little pause there.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I mean, why not? We celebrate here across, on the north side of the border on Monday, so it should be a good one. Get that turkey ready. I like that pumpkin pie. It should be an interesting end of the week. Anyone that was following the markets in the afternoon yesterday would have seen the move that GameStop made to the upside. I can actually say that I was long twice, and the second one was at a better price. I long twice at like 11.40 and once at 11.20. I actually lost on an 11.20 long yesterday, which is pretty ugly. There was one red candle on a 10. This is 15. There was one red candle on a 10-minute chart going into that entire run, and I was right at the bottom of it where I got out. So it was splitting hairs here, but I saw yesterday like 130% short interest. I saw 100% as a number out there as well. That is a distinction without a difference. It is going to be slightly down again today, but in context, that's still up about 25% from where this move started. It's clearly a bit of a squeeze that's going on in this name. I remember shorting it when it was like a $4 stock. But right now, I'm going to be looking to buy in any dips. That was a mistake I made yesterday, unwilling to buy into that dip and give it a little bit of room. I think it could get pretty ugly, especially if it breaks through the top. In terms of levels to the upside, I mean, past here, you have a high of day at 1370, you have 1450 or so, and 1730 was the first one. If you break through, I don't know how much those are going to matter if there is some moves to the upside that get parabolic. But I'll be looking first to see if there's any kind of a chance that the sell can come in. Usually the short play would be check the rollover if it holds the range, and then watch it break down towards the low, maybe add on the break. So if you're thinking reverse of that, to me, that would be long in front of that little dip, and you're calling that like 1230 to 1250.
All right, so there we go. Yeah, hey, welcome, guys, everybody. We're already long GameStop. Hopefully that'll work out. What Neil's doing right here is reviewing our morning movers. So if you guys want to, come to my screen right here. It's absolutely free, and the best thing about this watch list, of course, is that you don't need to search for it. It comes right to your email address. Absolutely no problem. Sign up. Valeria's going to drop the link watchlist.tradertv.live. Make sure you come grab it. And look, the best thing about it, like I said, delivered right to your inbox. So you're sitting on the train, you're sitting wherever, you're waking up, boom, it's right there. And then we have all the names we're going to be discussing. Whatever the move was at the time when we put it out, GME down 5% because of the close yesterday. Obviously, Neil just talked about how much it's up. GE, clean energy stocks, Apple, cannabis stocks here. I posted a tweet as well about these names. So they're all right here. Gilead, everything is right here, even the small cap ones. AGE was a great name yesterday, so on and so forth. But again, we're giving you explanations here, like, why is AMD down? Well, here it is, Xilinx, right? So it's right there. Thanks to Brendan and everybody that works on this so hard in the morning time. But sign up for it so you can follow right along. Let's begin, Brendan.
Yeah, going to be a busy morning, obviously. We'll keep an eye on headlines coming out of Washington. Lots of individual names to talk about. Here's a look at what is coming up a little bit later on in the show. We have a brand new educational video for you on money management. Yeah, how to properly manage both taking money out of your account when you are doing well and when we should be leaving money in there, and how to come up with strategies to help you with that. I can't turn that off, guys. If you could get... Oh, there we go. It did work finally. Let's go over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and happy Friday, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Take it away, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to run through this morning. Let's start things off with GameStop. Yeah, big move up yesterday. We talked about it off the bat there. Microsoft teaming up with Microsoft for some back-end support. They're going to use their cloud services for in-store technology for GME, so some of the associates can see data in real time for customers. So a multi-year, they didn't actually specify how many years, they just said multi-year agreement between GameStop and Microsoft, guys. So yeah, we're down here this morning, but as we said, kind of starting to move back to the upside.
Yeah, Neil just talked all about it. So we don't have to go over too many things there, but that's good. That's the reason why. Deals with Microsoft there. Tons of shares short on this name and looking for a squeeze even higher. And again, not many details. So we don't really know how to value this thing. What I'm trying to do right now is really just see if we do go a little bit parabolic, kind of like what happened once we broke through 1250 here yesterday. We just went right to 14 and change. Let's just see if the shorts get squeezed once the market gets open. So we are taking a little small tester right now at 08, so it's flat. It's at the money. I mean, we didn't go up anything, man. We went as high as like 14, 15. These wicks down will happen, so we just got to be aware of that. Going to try to get more down here, 1250, and then ultimately, look, I don't know. We don't know enough about this, in my opinion, and I don't really even like the stock that much, but $12 would be the breaking spot. We bounced off there a couple times. If you really want to get cheeky, maybe 1180 or so if it does fall to the downside. But like I said, it's not a huge risk position. It's 908. We're not going to put on huge risk because you could get a flush down. I mean, it's still 2 million shares, but the liquidity is not great. I mean, you get a marketable share. Like if I was long GameStop $3, $4, $5, $6 and I woke up and saw it at 13, 14, I probably would market sell. So we'll wait to see here what does happen, but I'm using 12 as protection and we'll go long in front of that.
Oh, you put it in the auction, Sean. You don't have to market. Yeah, we can limit sell. Obviously, kidding aside. I wanted to show you the daily chart very quickly, just because you have to go really far back. And like I said, we were shorting this thing at $4 on the show. I remember that very clearly. But it was one of those things. Was a good day trade. Now this sort of level here, 1220, right below that pre-market bottom. That's sort of what I'm looking at as well. If that breaks, it's about that to just on the south side of 11, which could be a bit of a channel. But all signs do point to a potential a squeeze here, even though it's down that 3%. But that's not the only thing moving here, Brennan.
Definitely not. Let's shift over to General Electric. Goldman Sachs with the upgrade on GE this morning. Big move up, or a decent move for GE anyways yesterday. So we're gapping up higher just based off this Goldman Sachs upgrade, saying that the progression and restructuring in the company has been slowed slightly because of the pandemic. But they're looking for GE to bounce back even bigger and even stronger once things are under control. So a nice look here for General Electric this morning.
So I have the imbalance locator up right now, and I think a lot of you guys like to look at that. We always get questions about it. Show the imbalance locator, so we will. And here's GE at the top. But remember, it's only a $7 stock, so it's not like a huge order here. But it is 1.4 million shares to buy. Everything is Brendan this morning, except for NTCO, which I have no idea what it is, and that's B's for Brendan and buys. So Hexo on there as well. But here's GE. Okay, it's a big buy, obviously. Goldman Sachs, big upgrade. Like it when they get the upgrades going, especially from a Goldman Sachs. 6% seems like a lot to me. $7, you have that protection, so you can always go long anywhere in this area. Wait for that. I'm going to wait for 710 to break. There is a larger level if you go back at 720 the last couple days here. If I can just maybe quickly get like a 15-minute chart up here, so hopefully it will load and be able to show you. We did top up near, it's back, it's up here. $7.20 was the high back on the 17th or 18th of September. So I'm looking for that to kind of get breached today. That's why it's 710. I mean, 710's the high today. We'll go back over here and look at 715, 720. So, yeah, look, if you're going to go long with big shares like I'll do there, so you get ready, just told you, if it breaks through 710, we're going to go hard on this thing, and then we're going to look for some kind of resistance and hopefully have a chicken dinner. That should be a turkey dinner. Rob made that point in the chat. But we'll go long at 710. Long-winded answer there.
Yeah, that's 720. You can even go back to like midsummer here, June, July, where that was a bit of a top as well. So I like that 720 area for potential breakout. I no guarantees it gets there. On the dip end, I like to see if it can hold that 85. I kind of wrote that one down as my first note on GE. If you can get inside of a channel, which I've seen GE do this before, where sometimes it's a sideways stock, and if there's any chance that it just wants to hang around in this range, maybe some can be picked up in the 90s in front of like a 685 area on General Electric. And good timing, because they just got that Wells notice a few days ago from the SEC, which moved the stock to the downside. You can see right here, right into the bottom. And then pick it up at 6, and then Goldman jumps on the party, and you already have like a 20% return. So pretty good for anyone that got in the last couple of days.
All right, guys, these clean energy names back on watch again this morning. We've been talking about them throughout the entire week. Individual names this morning higher. There's a couple that are actually in negative territory, but just energy. I want to mention that. PIMCO, PIMCO, which is Pacific Investment Management Company, disclosing a large stake in Just Energy, JE, that little teeny tiny one. There's also OPTT worth watching again today. Westwater Resources, WWR, also back to the upside again this morning. All of them very active once again.
Yeah, I mean, let's start with JE here. Looking at it on New York, not Toronto, it does trade in both. We'll look at it in the NYSE. No reason to really check it out in the Toronto Exchange. It's actually been sliding down the entire pre-market, so it's showing a little bit of a weakness coming back in. That's usually a bit of a sign that it's an opportunity to see if you can't fade the news. They did have a reverse. I think the split adjusted would make this like 18 or 19 cents, which was a stable area before. So I'm looking to see if we can't take advantage of some of these marks. When I was trading it earlier, I was looking at about a $7 range to see if it ever got back up there for a pullback. And again, I'm not saying necessarily this thing has no juice left in it, but I'll take my cue from the fact that it is sliding down. I want to be fading off the open. If there's anyone buying into this at 9:30 on the positive news, all I care about is whether it holds around that $7 even area or even the high of the day, which is $7.25. Either one of those two things would put me into a short. It would be a breakout through those prices. Also, I think there's a good shot at a long if it gets back to previous day's close, because PIMCO's no joke. They're disclosing this. That is a bit of a positive sign here. So I would buy the bottom if I can on this one. A lot of times I wouldn't, but in JE's case, I'd make an exception if we can hold 560.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at too many of these stocks. WWR continues to be a wild ride, and those of you that are in that know that. We traded that one on Monday during all the crazy halts and whatnot, and it seems like they've gotten a little bit more stable here, although how can you be up 17% and be really super stable? But if you're looking at WWR, you do have yesterday, we're all the way up to 950. If you break that 950, I love playing the 50-cent ranges, so 950, you have VWAP back at 9, so WWR here looking nice. Up 17% already. These stocks are nuts, man, but you just got to trade the momentum. Look what happens when they fail, though. Like big volume coming in yesterday afternoon and a big fail through. So if you're long any of these names that are sort of these wild rides, PLL, WWR, and whatnot, just make sure that you have your out. That's my advice.
It's been a busy week in the semiconductor group. AMD news this morning with XLNX. The Wall Street Journal reporting aftermarket yesterday that AMD in late-stage discussions to possibly acquire XLNX. They're saying this could even be announced as early as next week, a possible $30+ billion deal, guys. So AMD to the downside, XLNX a little bit higher so far in the pre-market here.
I mean, apparently Xilinx doesn't want to sell, so AMD here. I wrote down 84. I mean, I thought that them coming down here, down 3% was probably way too much. I mean, they're buying them for a reason. AMD continues to be such a super hot stock, and that the more they can diversify and grow their portfolio. I like it for AMD if Xilinx wants to cooperate. Obviously, it's probably not going to get into a bidding war, but $30 billion, I mean, it's going to be a big purchase here. 85.25 to the long side, definitely like that one. But yeah, it's going to take a hit to their cash base or dilute shares, depending on if they can come up with a deal, what they're going to be doing. But $30 billion is a lot, so you have to look at their balance sheet and see exactly what's happening with that. But 83.50 to the downside. Look, the market's up. NASDAQ is up. AMD's down. That sounds like a recipe to go long to me. I'm not worried about any of these deals. We'll see. And I'll have to have a closer look at Xilinx as well. But that's going to be more sensitive just because of the news.
Yeah, and until there's something firm, it's going to be speculation on Xilinx. It's worth considering. Remember, Nvidia with their ARM deal, deals that are this big in a given sector, they're going to have they're going to run into some issues with the antitrust approval, and that's going to be one of those things to watch here because when you have two of these, two juggernauts making massive potential purchases, I would tend to think that it might make it a little more difficult to get both of these through. On a regulatory standpoint, there be some arguments made that could squash competition. That's just it's not my opinion. It's just sort of the reality of the situation. So you get Nvidia basically flat here. This might provide a bit of an opportunity if Nvidia does give a bit of a dip on this news, just because of more competition with another deal in the space. But also possibly that their ARM deal would have less chance of going through. Maybe you get a shot to pick up what was a pretty stable level at 540 on NVIDIA. So I'm kind of looking to see if there is a bit of a sell in NVIDIA off of this news. Right now, that just hasn't happened yet.
All right, I want to make sure we get through a few more here before we get to Arun and have a look at the overall market. NXPI, another one from the semiconductor group moving around in the pre-market. Not a lot of volume, but they came out after market and increased their current quarter guidance. So definitely positive on the day, but again, lacking volume. Let's talk about cannabis stocks, guys. Big moves throughout the week for this entire group. We had during the debate, the vice presidential debate the other night, Kamala Harris saying that if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get elected, they will move to decriminalize marijuana throughout the U.S., which obviously has helped in this move back to the upside for some of these.
Look, I want to give a big a shout out to everybody hitting me up on Twitter here. And look, whether or not you made money or not, I put another tweet out today. I talked all about cannabis down here. This is CGC, $14. You're going to wake up to $18. So congratulations, anybody that followed the yellow brick road for some of these cannabis names. And yeah, just straight to the upside. And again, thanks for all the direct messages. If I haven't got to them, I will eventually. But a lot of love for the call on the cannabis names. And yeah, man, today you wake up and you get another little bonus. Upside. I think there's still tons of room to run. I mean, forget about CGC. If you even look at Tilray here on the NASDAQ, there it is. This stock has been the one that's been rifling upside as well. A lot of U.S. exposure on this. Like, you could have got it for $5 yesterday, and it's going to be probably 7 or 8 today. Look at the daily chart here on Tilray as well. You're buying it last week, 4 or 5. You're up to 7 today, so a good little run there. I like Tilray. A lot of volume here, 973,000. Afria, also another big name, APHA. And just watch them. I mean, we're up. This is the thing. It's had a big run in 1 week. So I was saying today, you could buy some. I wouldn't put like all of your risk into today's prices. But look for this one to break down through here, 634. If you are going to be long, take a long into $6 on Tilray. The other one I do like, which we just talked about there, was Afria a little bit. Still on the NASDAQ. Come on, not CGC. APHA, this is another big producer here. Afria, good quarter last quarter. ACB is the one that's in the biggest trouble, man. They lost $3.3 billion. That's Aurora. So we're not loving Aurora as much. But look where VWAP is. You do have some resistance down here, 565. So we'll look to pick some up if we get down there. But most of these stocks up today, 3, 4, 5, 6%. And once again, guys, thank you so much for all the love on Twitter. Follow us all there. I'd like to make calls. That's what I do. And here's another one. We gave you Canopy, CGC, Afria, all that last week. And really nice to see what they're doing today. I would still play the momentum long.
You threw shade on one, Sean, and you know it's going to be up my sort of lane to be watching. Where can you fade one of these? It's got to be ACB. I'll look at it in New York here. If we can trade it in Toronto, sometimes we will. That just depends on the cost to borrow it and to go short. If it's free, I'll trade in New York. If it's not, I'll just trade it in Toronto where it is free. I do know that for a fact for us. I'm watching this price right here, 625, 10% higher from here. We're already up 12%, so I feel it may be unlikely that ACB gets here today, but I want to foul that one away because I want to be fading that level if I get a shot. I don't know that it'll have a breakthrough through that price. I probably won't be reversing long. If you have 4 or 5 names that you like to the long side, it's easier to just jump to those if you get long breaks and momentum plays on trends. This is the one I want to short if we roll over at 625.
All right, guys, let's talk about Gilead to the upside this morning. Every time we've had news on Gilead or any of the vaccine kind of related names, the bigger ones, it has been faded. This is about remdesivir, though. The final data has come out on the trial that was underway when it comes to remdesivir, suggesting that on average, it reduced recovery time for the COVID-19 virus by 5 days versus those in the trial who were given a placebo. So definitely a positive look. Kind of shockingly, I guess, after Trump was given remdesivir on the weekend, just saying. Gilead back to the downside here, though, in the pre-market, guys.
Saying?
Just saying, not saying, just saying. The fade play, Gilead's only, I see it up 2% here and just not doing a heck of a lot at that bottom. So not a huge reaction. The idea behind fading something is that you think it's overbought based on the situation, and it just isn't necessarily the case on this gap to the upside. Like, yeah, okay, that's nice. It's $1 or so, but I don't see a gigantic reason to jump into this one and fade it. It's in a slight bottom that it's trying to put in. So this actually might be rounding up off of that little bottom that I just showed you on the daily chart. So I'm going to stay away from fading it and even take a shot at a breakout through the high of the day on Gilead. Now, the only issue is it's done 500,000 in pre-market shares. So as much as it's not up that much, it also hasn't done a ton of volume yet. So I'd love to have this one maybe in the first 5 minutes and not necessarily a pre-market trade.
All I keep hearing is good news, it seems like, about Gilead, and then I look at the chart, and this is what I see. I mean, this stock right here, not great to trade, but I mean, we're at these lows. Like, this is a great little spot to pick up some shares, I feel here. 61, 62 is the bottom. You get good news now on this name. So not necessarily for a day trade, but if you get above this 50-period moving average, which is $66, then yeah, Gilead, could run. And, it's good news, 65. It could break through 65 today. And I think that's a reasonable trade. So I'll put this on breaking through 65. It's generally been a good fade back through. So you can either go short here. We're right at the short spot, 64.40 or 65. So we're about 30 cents away from either one there. But I only have GameStop on right now, so I don't like anything this early, but we're only 7 minutes away. So we're getting pretty close. Gilead will be on watch today, 500,000 shares. There's other names. The best name that I like so far that we've covered, GameStop and GE, guys.
We're going to shift down to CEI, Cambridge Energy here. Back to the upside this morning. Had a big move late in the day yesterday for CEI on news that Virtu Financial disclosed a large stake in this company. So back to the upside here in the pre-market, but we're still below these resistance areas from yesterday in the afternoon, 140, 150. Look at the volume yesterday that came in when this news was released about Virtu.
Yeah, it was a big mover, and it sort of got overshadowed, I think, by GameStop, which obviously that's just going to be the case because GameStop was nuts. Every trader was watching that name. I like the consolidation here, Brennan. This is a similar play to yesterday, and it's going to slip my mind. It was OSTT, or you know what? I'm going to get that symbol wrong. OPTT. It was a very similar play to that, sort of like a second day holding below an afternoon sort of a support level. So the fact that it can't get above this like 125, I'm giving it to 30s here just because it's a pre-market trade. If I get stopped out and it falls down, fair enough. There's a 145 level up at the top. That was a double top to work off of on CEI. If it does break through that, I think there would have been room to the upside. Right now we're shorting it, but there still would be some room to the upside if you do get a break of that 145, maybe into a $2 range, but that's more of a squeeze play.
Okay, I'm just getting my orders ready for GE here. Come over to my screen, guys, if you can. What we're doing right now is going over the morning movers. This watch list is completely free. It's the best thing on the web. You can't find anything better for free, delivered right to your inbox every day between 8:30, 8:45 a.m. Eastern, something like that, sometimes even earlier. watchlist.tradertv.live, and whatever stock we just talked about, CEI is right here. Age, SN, like everything's here, as well as our recent video on our stock market wisdom page. Arun's journey is up there, so if you want to check that out, you can. But here's NXPI, the cannabis stocks we just went over, Apple, AMD, and everything. But it's watchlist.tradertv.live. Make sure you sign up for it. It's delivered free right into your. If you don't like it, just hit delete, right? Nothing wrong. Have a look at this. It's a great little read. And plus, it gives you some topics to talk about. Your friends, you're in those chat rooms, you're doing something, you say, yeah, you know what, GameStop, blah, blah, blah. You can spit some science here and be like, yo, Microsoft's Dynamics 365 platform, blah, blah, blah. So there it is. That's the watch list. Keep checking it out, guys. We're getting ready for GE, looking to break 710 very soon here, guys. And GameStop, we're already long. That's the only position we have right now.
All right, guys, let's go to the overall market here. We'll bring Arun in, have a look at the futures, see what levels we need to be aware of coming up this morning. Back to these kind of pre-market highs here, Arun, for the overall futures, looking nice at this point, I guess. Back to the positive side anyways.
Yeah, I mean, quite the run up overnight. It's been pretty quiet since yesterday's open. It was just a grind up yesterday, and now overnight move pretty much equals the same distance that we did yesterday. And now we're just going sideways. So the edges, I'm going to set a 60 on the top end, 45 on the bottom. It's just a bracket, right? Either direction it goes. If it breaks, settles in, there's your trade. Use the other side as a stop. It's pretty simple. It's a Friday. From yesterday's look, it looks like volume is going to be a little bit lower today. That's the expectation. Things can change on a dime, but I'm still going to be in front of my screen. I don't care what the volume is. I know what the reads are. So we'll see if this plays out for me. At some point, we're going to have to get above those levels. It's a 15-point range, 60, 45, either end. If we break either end, I'm willing to go. Of course, if we break 45, understand that we are going to go into yesterday's actions in the 30s and the 25s. So that market really does have about 15 points before it runs into some support. So risk reward ratios have to be proper on the short side. Of course, the long, we don't know what's up there. So just let it go. But on the downside, just be aware that 33.25 is going to be a dicey area for us to actually kind of potentially bounce off of even. But if you take the 45 short, you have about 15 points before you run into something. So just 60 and 45 to keep an eye on today, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll have a chat with Arun in-house coming up on Monday. SNMP, Sanchez Midstream, another little one. Look at the volume already in the pre-market this morning on this thing. There's not a lot of catalyst here, as I put in the morning note this morning, if you read that. Some directors on the board of the company selling some stock. That was really all I could find. But a little teeny tiny midstream energy company up enormously. Just be careful here. 120 to 115. If you go out to a daily time frame, there's a gap. It's about 115 is the bottom end range of that gap. So above that, we're kind of in no man's land up to 180. So 180 to 2 if we do start pushing higher on SNMP, guys.
Thanks, Brendan. I'll apologize in advance for there's two symbols that I'm having some issues with on my chart. You can see one of them is GameStop here. My data is sort of dying out. I still have orders, and I can still see my level 2, so I can still trade, and I've got my levels as well. But I won't be able to quickly show you. So for GameStop, we'll probably go to Sean. And then SNMP is one of the other ones. So I'm still going to be actively trading these names. It's not that big of a deal. It's just that I'm not showing real-time candlesticks to be able to show you guys at all times. We only have a couple of minutes to go. We went over a lot of names, just to cover a few of them. JE is going to be on my radar. I'm looking to, and it looks like this one might be following the same problem here, guys. So I'm gonna be looking to fade into this one off the 7 even area. It's trading right at 650. It actually hasn't moved in the last 10-15 minutes. I want to short this one in front of 650. It'd be a breakthrough 730. I have some orders to trail down in GameStop below this 13 level into 1220, which is where I'd look to get some long off of the open.
Okay, so we already got an idea right now. We're long into GE, so we've already talked about that. We took a little bit here. Yeah, my chart stopped working here as well, so hopefully it's probably just a data problem for us. But we are long now GE, so we'll see that. And if Rob or Lucas or somebody can message Juan, that would be great. Okay, so $7 downside right now. We are long GE. We'll find out what's wrong with our data. And then also NXPI, I do like a 144 break right now. So we're bouncing off 142. So that's still a little ways away. But with a minute left, guys, we need to get ready, get locked and loaded. So GE is going to be the big one for me. If we can break through that 710, it looks like it's getting a chance at that. We will try to build a position down below 7, but until then, we will wait for that. GE, GameStop, we're already long. We'll be watching AMD and then Apple through 115, 116. Let's see what we can do here, guys.
Yeah, and with only 40 seconds to go, there is also WWR. It's been in play. I just want to show you guys a 940 on a break to the upside. I'll fade in front of it if I can. CEI just broke 10 pennies in the money, so I'm going to start taking some out. I got a 119 short. But with only 30 seconds to go, I wanted to make sure you guys saw this one. WWR, I would be out of any short through 940 and looking to break out to a long trade. It's up 15% today. It put in a bit of a retracement yesterday, as you can see on the chart, and by a bit I mean a lot. But let's drop this bell on a fantastic and exciting week we've had. Valeria is here to ring it. I promise, Valeria, you are safe. Our friend is nowhere near you. There comes that little bell down there. I actually got some GameStop on the way down. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I just got some 78. That's not a bad score on GameStop. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say GE sort of in the money already here, but still not open. We did take again, we apologize, our charts. We're going to have to get them figured out. You're just going to have to watch us. Hopefully our positions are right at the bottom. Long GE 703 right now. Did it print? I can't even tell because we don't have the charts right now. But okay, yeah, there it is. So there are some end prints. So let's watch out to protect that $7. Long right now, GE looking for it to break 710, trying to protect that next level. NXPI opens up right now. Looks like it wants to take out 144. Let's do it when it does, guys.
Yeah, let's go with slaying some dragons here. I can show you CEI where I did get in on the rollover at 125. 119 my average price, but I'm just getting some out here as I'll show you. Look, the data's coming in, but you see a bit of a gap. It did trade nicely downside. Gonna work this one out towards $1. Psychological level, guys. You know how we roll there. Got that dip buy and also a bit of a break on GameStop. So got the dip into that 1275 area. Just show you the 1 minute. Some consolidation at that price. It then took out 13. So I got in there. It's now dipping down again. 1220. That was the breaking point I identified. So going to hang on to this long in the event of a squeeze in GameStop. It looks like it's starting to come down. And our issues might be fixed here because you're seeing some actual wicks on the chart. Like it, 1220 is my level on GameStop.
Okay, yeah, we're not, it doesn't look like we're fixed yet. We're going to get more in to GameStop as well. NXPI does not go through 144, so we got to wait on that one. We just missed a buy downside on GameStop. We're waiting at 1250. I have no idea. My charts are completely not working. GE as well, breaking back down through 7, so we'll protect that a little bit. Down to the bottom side here, 690, 692 or so on GE, so we're waiting for that one to go as well. But do have some thoughts of GE heading north side here, guys, at some point. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, just popped into a quick short in a WWR. Remember, 940 is going to be a bit of a reversal for me, but I want to be short in front of it. Should have faded Gilead. I was looking at a breakthrough 65. Doesn't even come to the upside there. Still holding GameStop flat. 1280 long, and it is flat, not going anywhere. Brennan, what do you got?
Another one to look at, guys. Vivo Power. A couple of people letting me know about this one on Twitter this morning, up 26%. They picked up a light electric vehicle company called Tembo EL. So Vivo Power getting into the EV space. VVPR, guys.
Definitely going to be watching VVPR. That's a name that we have traded in the past. I just added it to my list, but I want to quickly jump over to XLNX. Xilinx here, starting to fade a little bit, again, off of late-stage talks, but still speculation ultimately. We're not talking about any kind of a firm deal here, guys, yet, but it is starting to come back down. There's going to be a buying opportunity when you look at this. Usually you find a bit of a bottom. 114 is, I think, a pie in the sky thinking, but if you go bottom to top on this little break here from 107 up to 21, to 28, you're going to get like a 118 area for like a 50% retrace. So between there and 14 psychologically makes a lot of sense to me. I am looking for a dip buy in Xilinx today. Hopefully it goes below 120 and gives me that entry.
Okay, 7.02. We'll try another little bit of shares here on GE if it does break back above. Right now, we're just stone cold chilling, man. We got GE long, 7.02. We take a little bit more down here. And again, I'll have to find out. I don't know how Neil's charts are working. I don't know if yours are working on GE, mine or not. But we have NXPI right now. Bang! A quick little 50, 80 cents right there win. NXPI. We're long NXPI right now at 144. I gave you that in the open. We talked about how much we like that. Rips all the way up north side there. We take some out 80s there, 55, sorry, that's why it's a 50-cent winner. 57s, it does go to 93. So let's get some orders high side and make sure we get out of this one. NXPI looking to run right now. What up, B?
Another one showing strength, guys. Rocket Mortgage, RKT, 4%. It was, I think it was JP Morgan. Yeah, JP Morgan lifting it to an overweight rating for Rocket Mortgage, guys.
And GameStop is trying to make a bit of a push back to the upside. I talked about buying on some of those dips. I picked up more shares in the 60s. It is hanging right around this 13 mark, guys. If it's going to be any kind of a real squeeze, and 100% short interest, that's why we're interested in it. 1330 to 1350's got to break that top end in the pre-market. Once that happens, you have to at least anticipate some halts, so I'm going to want to get shares out on the way up. I'll take some out in front of that high, but not much because we are looking for a bigger trade here, thinking this could squeeze. And 17 was literally the next level that I could find to the upside. But long 1280, I'll take some off for like 50 cents if I can get it, and then look to see if I can hold the bulk of the position in the event that we squeeze up. I got out too early in the afternoon yesterday. Told you, I made bottom wick literally in the afternoon getting out of that trade. Not going to happen today. At least I hope it doesn't happen today.
It looks like GE is going to be a problem. I mean, it's all the way here. We'll call up GE. It doesn't look at Xilinx though. I mean, Xilinx, NXPI guys, out right there, 90-cent win. So it's a disco ball here. Let's just see if we can't continue this to the north side. We're still trying to hold out hope for that. And look at GameStop again. I'll have to figure out why my charts aren't working, but I'm in there and out there. So a good one, 1330. We tried to get longer but missed. So GameStop does fall out. Look at that. Bang, a nice little win here, 1308 long. Now GameStop just taking them out. We tried to get longer, but we missed. What I was going to tell you guys right there was GE breaks down below, so we average. Never got to that 710, so luckily we didn't have to take out the stick there, or else we would have at 710. If it does come back upside, we'll get some shares there. But for right now, I may log out and back into my system just to see if I can get you guys a look here that you want.
I'll do a backflip. Mine aren't working. I didn't have to log out, Sean, so I would hold off on that if you... I'm not an IT guy, I shouldn't say that. But WWR, we shorted this one off of $9. I tried to get more. I'll go long off $9.40. If I can get it on a break, I'll take that shot. But quickly taking a 50-cent win to that south side trade. I did try to pick some up on the rollover at $9.10. I couldn't get it. I'll go ahead and say that's probably come and gone. The bottom here, about $8.20 is going to be the ultimate target. But GameStop as well, we'll be happy about that. We'll hit a hot dog action, which is weird, probably going into Thanksgiving because no one's going to have hot dogs on Thanksgiving. But a nice little trade here on GameStop. My charts are okay. It is still resisting the high. It hasn't really broken through 1350, but I did take some out in front of those two levels, so 50-cent win and then a 60-penny winner to the upside. I'm going to hold the rest of these guys. I want to buy on a dip. If it holds 1220, I'm anticipating there could be halts. On a break of this 1350 area, it could go parabolic and halt to the upside. I want to hold through halts today when you're anticipating a squeeze. That's going to be part of the plan of action today to maybe take some out and then hold the rest through if I anticipate a halt coming up. But already 80 cents in the money right now on GameStop. Holding 850 is WWR, so not going any further than 50 pennies there. Big buyer. And when I say big, I just want to quickly show you if I can in WWR. It's an iceberg order here, not a large order at 850, but I've been watching this one sort of buy up at 850. That's where I got out in front of it. If it breaks that, we're going to have a nice winner on down towards 820. But if it bounces back up, I got to consider whether or not I want to reload when there's obviously a buyer here on WWR at 850.
Okay, so we did get more GE here at 92, and we'll wait to see. So it does flush us out. The very bottom was 87, so we'll play that as one more out. We'll give this one more shot here to the north side of GE. Still waiting for that 710 to break, but guys, it doesn't look like that's going to happen today at all. 23.x million shares. I actually am going to log out and try to get these charts to work, guys. What's up, Brendan?
FCell, guys, one that's been very active all week long, doing enormous volume once again this morning. 8% again for Fuel Cell here. Just double checking the headlines. Don't think there is anything again today, but 260 was the high, just to confirm from yesterday. So coming back to that 260 for FCell, guys.
Continuing down, I'll go to CI in a second, over 10% move already, but halting to the upside. Look, I was all about thinking about shorting this SNMPI. I took it in the pre-market. My charts were going a little bit haywire. I covered the trade. You can see the gap in there. It's working now. Halted up, and it's interesting because this is right at that pre-market top. This is essentially what I'm hoping was going to happen in GameStop. is that you'd get a parabolic, not a parabolic, but a big move on volume at the open that would test the high, break, and halt. This one right at that top and halting. If it opens higher, you might have a bit of a run on SNMP here on the Amex. It's done 41 million shares already, so things are getting rather spicy. Should open up in any second now. It's been about 5 minutes, so watch out. If you're short this, personally, if I was shorted, I would already have, there you go, just opened up. I want to see if it holds above. Potential break at 150 as well, if this one wants to go crazy. The volume huge on this one. Let's see if I can't get some shares here on the break. Slip to 55s. I just wanted to see it hold above this price, guys. If it breaks down below that halt price of 140, I'll just get out. If it looks like it's halting to the upside, I'll take some profit as well. But stop's only about 10 cents or so on SNMP, the silver on the Amex.
Okay, so just looking here to make sure that we have the right trade on NXPI. Yes. Okay, so again, because we're supposed to have gotten out of this one, but now that the charts are loaded up, we're back in. So NXPI, we did get out some. Unfortunately, now it fades right back. Our out would have been around here, 142, but now it's down to 141. We're going to look at this level, whatever this bottom is, 141. If that breaks on NXPI, we're going to get out. We're going to get a little bit more right now on this stock to play this downward move. Unfortunately, we didn't get them all out. We only got out of half. So what was a big winner will now be, I guess, a flat trade or a slight loser here as we're looking to go to the downside here on NXPI. But looks like logging out and logging back in seem to work, guys. Brendan?
I just had a volume alert on XOM, one that doesn't typically pop up, but big volume spike to the upside after a flush off the open there. 35.20 bit of support was an area yesterday as well, but XOM on a volume spike, guys.
Wow, okay, that's a little crazy on XOM. Just interesting enough, I think Chevron overtook XOM in cap just the other day, so big mover there as well. I kind of prefer Chevron if it's going to be a long side play, but it's going to be hard not to fade some of this news here, or some of this play if it gets back into like the 35.5. I'm going to stay away from it, at least in the short term, till I get some closer price action or some tighter price action. It looks like SNMP is heading down towards that 140. The breakout might be failing. I'm going to give it only about that 10-cent move initially. I don't love holding those longs on some of these companies. I don't necessarily believe in them. But VVPR is breaking out towards the upside. So took the wrong break, guys. SNMP is still barely trying to hold in the money, but it looks like VVPR is again off to the race, and this one's going. GameStop only about 30 or 40 cents in the money. Ooh, might have backed the wrong horse. VVPR 85% and looking like it might be I'm not going to steal your term there, Brendan, but it looks like it's going to be the hot one today.
Yeah, okay.
Check out, just reading headlines here, guys. Uber Technologies, Mizuho with an upgrade. There's a couple of upgrades, it looks like, for Uber. 2.5% here, also popping up on a volume scanner, guys. Just broke 38 and held there, 2.5% already.
All right, just getting some orders out here as we try to figure out what's going on with some of my trades. But yeah, so it's been a good day so far here as we go, but we need to try to get out of some of these trades. NXPI to the upside, no. Waiting to fade back. We just took some more at 150, so we'll see if that one can come back to the downside or not. What it wants to do, we do not know, but that's NXPI. GE, we're waiting for this to get lower, obviously. We're in the long right now. We don't have too many shares. I do want to put on a bigger long if we do break above this 693 level. So if you see that happen, you know I'm going to be long GE through 693. We're long right now at 691. We've had to dump our shares. We did get some pre-market. You know, when we're in pre-market, we're not heavy. We were waiting for 710 to break. We thought we would try to protect 7. It does break. We average in and get out at 90. So a bad out there for us on GE, but we'll still watch this one run up. GameStop, same thing as Neil here. We are into GameStop right now at 1308. Our best out was 30. We should have got some out at 60. I still think this thing squeezes higher, guys. That's GameStop.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. And it's one of those plays where sometimes you're anticipating a bigger than normal move as I swat a fly out of my face. CEI, nice little trade to the downside. It's getting right down towards that $1 mark. And again, this is really more about, look, I know there's some consolidation down here in low volume pre-market, but it's more about the psychological level that a dollar represents. The low is 96. If you do go to a higher time frame, you sort of look at this top at 95 and you can really say, okay, ultimate target should be something like 95 cents, but I'll be out of most of everything on this 120 short when it gets to that $1 even. I'll hang on to like 20% of the position just to see if it can't get a little bit further, but already nice trade here, CEI. Brendan, what do you got?
A little bit sluggish to start on some of the cannabis names, but CGC coming back to pre-market highs here 1850, that wick high there in the pre-market. A heads up, guys. Starting to move back higher for cannabis names.
Yeah, some of those names did fade off, and we did talk about that possibly happening today, right? Was some of the cannabis names coming back down. They've just been so heated. So I'm glad you guys hopefully took some profits on some of those trades. Okay, here we go. AMD looks like it wants to break VWAP again, so that could be a good trade. 84.80 to the top side. That's kind of a nice break that we like. So we're going to put out an order to take AMD long, and we'll take a decent amount of shares at 84.80. We'd love for it to get above this high, though, 85.25 before we really go. Look at the NASDAQ starting to take off a little bit right now. So we will watch that. This is what we have at the bottom, the NASDAQ. So we're going to watch out for that one. Coming back to the upside right now, 84.80. You could take it through a VWAP break right now, which isn't horrible, man. What is this level, actually? 84.30. So we're right there. Small one long going now, 84.30. AMD, we're going to take this long.
Brennan, I think you got something?
Microvision, MVIS. Feel like every other day we're talking about Microvision, but another move back to $3 here for MVIS. Couple of positive notes on this company being very undervalued, guys.
There you go, undervalued. I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe CEI is not undervalued, but obviously I'm sitting here in the short position, so it is what it is. $1 just got broken. You can see here it's entered the penny stock stage, so we're trading by like tenths of a cent here. I still have some shares at 121, but as I mentioned, I'm always going to be taking off the bulk of it in front. You can see I did take a bunch of shares right out in front of 104, and now once it breaks $1, I can trail the rest out to 95. I'm just not going to have any shares below that price. You got to make sure that you have a bit of a target, an idea of what you expect out of a trade. Otherwise, or you have a sort of reason why on a turnaround you might get out on a trail. I don't tend to trail these small caps very well, so I'll stay away from that. I will go over to SNMP. This one, just not really. And the funny thing is, usually I do sell a lot of these ones, guys, but when you have the halt to the upside, I'm going to play that break and that setup almost every single time. When it gets back below that previous halt and breakout price, I'll just get out of it. It's now halted to the downside. I don't want any part of that. Yeah, I'm only risking about 10, 15 pennies, and that's not a heck of a lot. But I think the structure makes sense, especially in these weaker names. Now, you can call it a dollar stock, but essentially these are all penny stocks here. So this one looks like it might want to come back in. This was not a halt. This is just an issue with my chart data. This is the halt right here at $1.42. It looks like it'll be open in a few minutes on a downward halt in SNMP. My first hit of the day. 3 for 4 for now.
Okay, guys, here we go. Upside, we gave this one to you. Hopefully it happens right now. Bang! There it is. The money's coming in on AMD. Yes. Go AMD. Go AMD. A nice little win here on AMD. Thank God. It breaks through that VWAP 84.20, 84.30. We talked about it. Out 45s, out 60s, out 61s now. So a nice little runner here for AMD right off the top there. Good trade there, man. Now we'll wait for 84.80 to break to the upside, but we already have this one. This is AMD, 35 cents in the money. The pins lined up, and we definitely knocked these ones down. So a good trade right now on AMD. We'll look to get more once it breaks above 84.80. So we'll get some out. That's a good looking trade right now. GameStop. Again, this chart's not working for me, but GameStop, we did take another long down here, so we're going to watch out that 74. We'll find out why that stock's not working. And then GE as well. No idea about this chart, but right now GE also making moves to the upside. It almost cracked our 93 level, which is where we wanted to. I'm going to try to find out about these charts, guys.
Brendan, what do you got?
I mentioned this one yesterday. Jumia, guys, JMIA back to the upside again today. 3.8% now on decent volume. Tried to break 11, but looks like it might be failing. Remember, that's a big day from yesterday for JMIA as well.
Okay, I reloaded on GME. Of course, that's going to be GameStop. If you haven't heard that one yet, it was top of the watch list. I think today GE was number 2. You've seen Sean trading that one. We've both been looking at GameStop. I'm liking this pre-market level here at 1260, 1220, sort of an all-stop leg down there. Every time it goes up, I'll take some profits on the north side of 13, like 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. I'm looking for a big move and a parabolic move upside for the squeeze. Brendan, what do you got?
All-time highs once again for Fastly. Another day, another move to the upside for Fastly. 6% this time. Watch 123 there for FSLY, guys.
Okay, guys, and AMD, by the way, just continues to be a beast here. Up now, up, and more up. AMD, a big wins for us so far today, guys. And now we're long 84.80s, cashing those out. Look at some of these longs, out, all the way to the upside now. 83, 84, 85, whatever you want. Pick your poison there. Boom, 90s, 91s right there. Big time winner here on Advanced Micro, just ripping to the upside right now. Boom! What a big trade this was, guys. Really, really happy to slay this dragon. Now we're all the way to 85. Okay, we'll take some more out. We were long down here, guys. I hope you have this. Big stock, big name, told you about it. We were light here, went long, got doubles in. Like, we took it light beginning, but then we took another bid out there once we saw this move happen. So big time trading here on AMD. Hope you have this with us, man. Big trade alert. Still waiting for GE to break above 693, guys.
Yeah, GameStop heading towards that, back to that 1280, 13 mark. I'm not taking profits unless it's above 13. Got to go more than this to the upside. It's been a nice trade so far, and we're up on it. I want to go back to WWR here. We do like the long break at 940, and I'll consider some bottom pick ideas. For now, we took the rollover at 9. Just got the last of those shares out in front of that pre-market low here. So 830, we'll call it a 70-cent winner. Just slightly less now, like 68 pennies. Just looking at the higher time frame, there is that chance, and this is what I was getting at with the bottom pick, that if we can hold this sort of 765 area to about like $8, maybe there could be a leveling off and you get some long plays here. Obviously, it was a pretty strong move to the downside yesterday, coming off a parabolic move up. If it has a second win, it's going to have to hold 765 first. GameStop, on the other hand, just because my charts are working over here so I can show you. I know you'll see both of us in position to the long side, but GME, sort of, it's not sideways action because, you know, anytime it's moving like 50 pennies at a time off the bottom here, it is showing some strength off this 1250, 1260 area, but looking for more than that. If it breaks 13, yeah, go ahead and maybe take some more profit off for me. But if I'm playing a squeeze play, it's got to be bigger returns. I got to be able to hold this one down to that 12 quarter area, which means I can't be risking that much to take 15, 20 cents. That's the idea. It's doing tons of volume, so you could be scalping this for sure. I just happen not to be. Brennan, what do you got?
Grow Generations talked about this one a little bit yesterday. They're in the farm supply industry, so some of the cannabis growers do actually use this company for supplies. So that might be the catalyst here. But 3 days now, 1, 2, 3 to the upside for GRWG, guys.
All right, guys, and it's money time. AMD, again, the biggest position here for me, and it's just been a cash. We did talk about that. That's on our watch list, so make sure you sign up. Get the watch list.tradertv.live. Valeria can post a link once again. We still are in that name and waiting. We're still waiting for GE as well. And again, none of my charts working at all. So we do have a big buyer here on GE, so if this breaks, we will get out and then just wait for a better spot. I mean, there's nothing else that we can really do on GE right now. It looks like this buyer probably will break, and then we'll go back down to the downside here.
You know what? Quickly, just show my chart here because you guys see the position on when Sean says there's a buyer. 1, 2, 3 times on the 1 minute, it's held this 685. And on top of that, you did see the level 2, and that's the order that he's referencing here, 400,000 shares. So we can show my charts when we're talking GE. Brennan, what do you got?
Another one from the semiconductor, if you would prefer a cheaper one, guys. SPCB, a little teeny tiny semi, just broke $1 on a big volume spike. So the entire group being lifted on this news, guys.
Definitely a good look on that one. I do want to jump at least a little bit back into the cannabis space. So we talked about this, all of these names on watch. I know initially I was sort of hoping that we could fade ACB, the weakest, or in our opinion, the weakest of these names. It did not get any kind of a buy. And if it's going to be good news and the entire space is up, I'm looking to fade that, and that means that I want there to be buy action or a level that I really like. I didn't like the pre-market high. I was hoping that we would test back into this price area here. If you go all the way back into like September, into mid-September, that's where I was hoping we'd get to be able to fade it. It does not. It just drops right away. So that's why no ACB execution for me. I wouldn't be bottom picking this, but if you get a sell-off in the space, maybe there's another name you could pick up at yesterday's levels, not necessarily ACB that I'd be interested in.
Okay, yeah, ACB, one of those crazy names there, and good look on that. We did talk about the cannabis space before, and we will look at that. So GE, we just looked at that again. That does come out as it does break that 85. So that's GE for you, downside there, breaking through 85, and we just got out. So I did send out the bat call to our tech team. Unfortunately, my charts are not working. I've logged out and back in at nothing. But what is working is a roller coaster ride on AMD, man. We still are long 78s. Our initial longs 30s. If you're long with me, welcome, man. That's $1 win right there on this big cap name. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Go AMD, go. We are long downside, so this chart's working no problem. So we'll watch AMD here, see how high it wants to fly, but we're almost out of our position. We hold that last 10% now after we get a beautiful out there. I told you sometimes I get randomly out at 17. There's a 17 out right there. We talked about that that yesterday on why I picked some of these days. So there we go. AMD to the upside. GE continues to fall. NXPI, this chart looks like this is not working. So we did take a little bottom spot there at 140 and change. It goes all the way back to 142. Our average price is 142.90. We did take a 144 break early, but obviously it didn't continue. We're able to get some out at 145 and then 144.50. That's nice. We'll wait to see if NXPI can go one more time. Our out's right down here though, man. You break 140 and your boy's going to be out of NXPI. But so far so good, man. The only thing we've messed up a little bit, obviously, was GE. So we'll wait to get some revenge on that. Can't show the chart, not working. But GE, I do like the long if it breaks back above 7, but I don't know if that's going to happen right now. It's at 680.
Yeah, I actually thought on GenMarket, that was on our watch list. I'm not sure if it made it. I know Brendan talked about GenMarket. They had their rapid testing, which can distinguish between different forms of bacteria, COVID, and the regular flu. So they were gapping up on that news, but on light volume pre-market. Just sold off like $2 from the top on that. You're able to get now, and I just got in here at 1450-ish. This is right where there was a bit of a breakout yesterday in the afternoon at the close, right at yesterday's close prices. So basically long in front of yesterday's support at 14 even. I'm going to bottom pick this one. If it breaks 14, we're out. If it goes back up, I think we have a good shot to get to that 15-20 mark. So nice little risk reward here in GenMark. Brendan's got something. What do you got, buddy?
GoPro, guys. Haven't talked about this one for quite some time, but just popping up here on a volume scanner. A couple of days ago, they had their latest version of the GoPro camera reviewed. It was positive. So for sale now. It's the Hero 8, I believe, or 9. So back to the upside again today for GoPro on volume, guys.
There must be something happening with AMD right now. It just cracked down. We'll take the long again down here. I think 79. Yeah, 79 is where we're long. So we're just long again right now. It was really high side. Here it comes. We're only going to hold it to 60s. So if this does break, we're going to get out. Just a big move down. NASDAQ not really doing anything. So wondering what is up here with AMD. Just bouncing around right now. We did take another long, but it's not going to be for very long. There it goes. See, there we're out. So we did try that one there. We tried to pick it again, but there you go. Out. So now we are flat on AMD. Let's wait to see if anything else is coming. Was that Brendan? What's up?
Yeah, just seeing, guys, a couple more, both analysts and banks coming out saying now that XLNX probably doesn't want to sell. So that could be why AMD might be struggling this morning, guys.
Yeah, I mean, one of the plays I was looking for was if there was some strength to that deal, would have been, does it affect NVIDIA and give you a bit of a sell to come down? Obviously, that just hasn't happened. You're seeing AMD move on that news. You're seeing NVIDIA basically hold flat. I really do think if that had firmed up in any way, maybe you would have seen a flush. That would have been a great opportunity to pick up 540s. But I want to go over to GameStop. So I guess if I'd scalped more heavily, it would have been a better win here. I'm now looking to hold at this 1220 level. We wicked down, and one of the reasons why you might want to distinguish between area stops and hard stops, I made the bottom yesterday. I told you guys this on that move to the upside. I got out literally right here yesterday in the afternoon. I had two longs, one at 1120 or so, another one a little bit higher at 1140. That actually won in front of 12, 50-cent winner. The second one, which I got at the better price, I took out at this bottom wick because I had a hard stop on a stock which is going absolutely crazy. This time, I'm watching GameStop, making my own decisions as to whether I want to get out. If it breaks down below a level, I want to see the price action at that 1220. It snapped down, immediately came right back. So I actually added to the position. And if it breaks 12 even, that's probably going to be better kill spot for me. So for now, still in GameStop, but at this rate, it looks like the short might have come in. This was a squeeze play all the way here. I did scalp some, but maybe not enough. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm still I'm into that GameStop as well right now. So yeah, we've averaged into some shares there. So we'll see what GameStop wants to do. But right now, 1235. So my charts aren't working on some of these earlier positions that we did get into. I did want to check back on AMD. It's just bouncing around now. VWAP is all the way down here at 8430. So this is a risky stock to trade because we were cruising until I guess that little report came out there. So still positive, obviously my number one stock, but we'll wait to see what that does on the downside now. AMD, but here it comes making some moves. There's really no levels to talk about. If we get above 8480 again, we'll try one more time. So that's 8480 long on AMD. If that comes, we will take that. We just took some more at GE down here as well. 84.80, trying to protect the bottom, which is about 8 and change, 679 or so on GE is the bottom there. I want to look at Nikola as well, because Nikola has been obviously a good mover, and then they had some demonstrations yesterday on their technology, on their patents and whatnot. Thought there'd be a little more action today, but there is not on this. Let's check out Fisker quickly, which is the Spartan Acquisition Corp. There it is, SPAC coming through here. Fisker, again, these things not moving today, man. Only down 0.1%. Maybe it's a Tesla kind of day. We'll have a look at that. We haven't looked at NIO yet either, or some cannabis names. So let's have a look at some of those.
I'm going to do one of these ones, guys. I'm going to go Mortal Kombat on you guys, because that's my personal preference, even though I'm a Sub-Zero guy. I'll call it like it is. That's Scorpion over there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go over to CEI. There we go. CEI, all out. I gave it one shot, and basically one shot only to break through the bottom on the last of my shares. It bounced back up above $1. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth. If I can take the rest of them out, we were shorting in the 120 range. 119 was my average price. Like, if I'm going to be getting the last of these out here at 97.98, very, very happy with that. We'll take it all day long. This is not what I'm yet looking for any kind of a bottom pick if you're looking at a long position. I really think patience is a virtue. If you're even thinking about something like that, it's probably got to be down at the 80, 85 cent range. I'm not anticipating it goes that far, but that's what it would take for me to be long CEI today. Just looking over at JE here, got multiple screens here. I try to show you guys everything on this main. JE, now I'll look at it in New York here, starting to come to the upside. Now, I didn't want to trade this one when I was a bit blind, but now it is coming up to that 7 level. This is what I wanted to see if there was a rollover. So there's a key price here. If JE breaks through here, maybe test the top, and I'm going a long break for a squeeze. If it fails, it's a rollover. So I don't want to touch it in between that range. That 25 cents is a no-fly zone for me unless it breaks in and comes back out southbound, short, breaks in, comes back out northbound, long. So this 7 to 725 is sort of the target area, but I can play it in either direction off of that price. We're waiting all morning for it to come back and test. JE looking like it's picking up some strength, guys.
And guys, we got a big banger right now, guys. We're cooking up some money on Qualcomm. Berkshire taking a little bit of a stake here in it, so we went long and hammered it and done real good right here on Qualcomm. I saw that 125.25 level, bounced off there a couple times. We take it and booming it to the upside right now. So that's it, man. This is a big, spicy position for us right now, is Qualcomm making moves to the upside long, 125.28. Already took out some cash right there, so we'll wait to see. 125.80 is our biggest spot. We'll dump this if it does break back below 125. Thank you, Miss V. I need to get out to some more of this probably. The high is 126 there. Watch out, though, Berkshire right now. Brendan, when you have more news on this one, you can come with it. But right now, Qualcomm to the upside, and we just traded that quite well.
Yeah, I just got out of some on a reload in GameStop here, just ticked up to 12.80. I'll take some off. I had 50, so I'll take quarters. 50, 75 is my outs. The first leg here is going to take that quarter off, more like 30, 40 cents. If it breaks 13, that's when I'll look to take more off here. Again, squeeze play. I was eyeballing that 12.20. This is what happens. Only a wick down and then right back up. That's a reason to add. The second I see it, I add at the bottom. A bit of a sign of strength here in GameStop as it heads northbound. Time for happening now. Let's go to the big screen with Brendan.
Back into positive territory, guys. We'll have a look at North American markets here. That is definitely not the board. That is a lot of me. Yeah, all North American markets basically back in positive territory, about 0.5% to the upside for the S&P. There we go. Yeah, 0.5% for the S&P, 0.25% for the Dow there. Tech stocks leading once again, 0.8% for the NASDAQ, 0.77 if you're watching the composite. The Russell, 0.9%, full percent to the upside here in Toronto. TSX just into positive territory. Down in Brazil, the BOVESPA also moving downside, so bucking the trend a little bit. Let's have a look at a few things from the watch list, guys. NXPI on the watch list again. They came out after market yesterday, increased their current quarter guidance. However, not a lot of follow through here. We're actually breaking to the downside. 140 needs to hold, or that could be lower trade at some point this morning. This one, SNMP, another one from the watch list, gave you a little bit of trouble at the open there. This is actually me getting out of a long, not getting top tick on the short side. Just for the record, 150 break there, took a little scalp on the long side, but Yeah, all the way back down to almost $1 for SNMP. Guys, back to you.
I'm going to do a backflip over here, guys, and I love this little shot. All the wasted space. Sean and I used to sit next to each other in this little cockpit. Of course, distancing is distancing. We got to do what we got to do. But GameStop heading northbound again. So it just got up to towards that 13 level. For me, my average price there was, average price now like 42s. It was just under 50. Let's see if it can't break through, but I will take some profit. I wasn't aggressive enough taking 50-cent wins before. I'll take some off. Now I'm still holding the bulk of the position to see if we can squeeze to the upside on GameStop, which we are, and I just get hit at 20. So there you go. There's the 80-cent win on GameStop. I still think there's a shot that we get with 100% short interest going into today. You got to believe that there could be a squeeze coming, and if 1350 breaks, it's like 17 was the next real level to the upside, and sometimes that doesn't even matter.
No, it does not. So we're taking this out, man. Great. I mean, we averaged in large there, so good little out on GameStop, man, bringing us back to life. Qualcomm, hell yeah. We just tweeted this one out as well. Follow us all on Twitter. I gave you the headline here, Berkshire making moves to the upside, and this is what we're doing, guys. Big time trade there. The money bags on Qualcomm coming in, so good on us for that one. GE just keeps bouncing around, not much happening there. GameStop just keeps going. We are long at 12.54. The chart looks ridiculous. I don't know why it's not updating, but GameStop still some to go here on the upside. Like Neil said, I'm looking, guys, to get out if we can, man. 13.55 or higher. See if we can't take a smooth dollar on this one. That would be pretty sweet. Qualcomm seems to be bouncing around here. I'm going to put an order out upside here, about 125.80 or so. See if we can get, let's go 75s. We'll wait at the quarters and get out of some of our GameStop there, or sorry, some of our Qualcomm. But what a big time to cook right now, as I hope everyone has a great weekend. Barbecue season is here. Don't let the weather bother you. Let's just keep going to the upside. 125.75 here on Qualcomm. Big time win. Follow us on Twitter. Let's go.
Yeah, a big time win over there on Qualcomm. That's how you react to breaking news. I wish we could show you the video we did on breaking news. I don't have it at my fingertips, but that was on our Market Wisdom page, and sort of a similar pattern there. But speaking of energy, horrible segue here. Just Energy does break 725. I told you, look, you could take a 7 break. That was a key level for me, but I wanted to see if there was a failure I could take advantage of. There wasn't a deep one, so it's a breakout through the high of the day. I just took some out in front of 750. Obvious sort of a level quarter break, 750 out. But I'm going to hang on to see if we can't get a bigger move on Just Energy. Let's remember, it's up 30%. The last time it went parabolic, well, the last time off of the, if you go off of the reverse split, essentially, look, the bulk of the volume was at this 850 area where we did have the open. It did make a stretch to 10. I think it's more realistic 8 to 850 in terms of a target if it does go parabolic. Split adjusted, this is still literally less than 25 cents, I think, is a relative price. So if you're sort of tracking that on our charts, it's going to still show you the penny stock it was before instead of adjusting for the split. Some of yours might. I'll let you guys know either way. Brendan.
Just so everyone knows, there's nothing confirmed, it looks like, as far as that Qualcomm rumor is considered, but there's just rumors floating around at this point from what I can see that Berkshire has taken a stake in Qualcomm. But moving anyways on that, another one to the upside here, Waterford Holding shares were halted. They are being acquired for $31.10 per share by Arch Capital Group. So we're actually quite significantly above that. But if you're watching WTRE up 7%, that is why, guys.
Yeah, if you're watching a cash deal and thinking it's going to go higher, I always say this: there better be a special dividend or another bidder or something along those lines. Otherwise, gravity is going to take it back towards that price. So watch out for that name. I got to go quickly to Genmark show the winners show the potential losers. Hasn't lost yet, but bottom pick here off of 14 bounce. It wicked down below that 14 even, came right back up. I took long off consolidation. I'll take a little bit more in front of 14, but if it breaks the bottom, I'm all out of Genmark. Positive news when it comes to the rapid testing, but it is fading the entire move back. Now negative on the day. A little bit of a surprise there with Genmark.
213 for, okay, yeah, so Qualcomm, we talked about that one, and there's the out at 125. So out of our last 10%, you guys know that's, I mean, if you're watching the show, generally I'll hold it. I'll let you guys know when we're in light position, and if, you know, this many outs, again, on news, you got to trade what you do, right? And it's like, if we don't normally, if this thing doesn't run, like Brandon said, the way we thought it would, that's kind of a big move there from 124 upside, so then we get out, and then we just use this bottom as 125, so glad we gave that to you, Qualcomm. Qualcomm still now my #1 stock of the day. So Qualcomm, a good one there. Guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're only, I think, 300 away from 95,000 subscribers. So let's do that. Let's do that, at least for Brendan. If not for Brendan, then let's do it for Valeria. We are trying to get that going, guys. 95,000 would be great. And then we get some sort of a plaque or something at 100. So we're going to celebrate that when that happens. We know that's coming. Thank you for all of the love and the support. Just before I talk about stocks, what we're going over right now is the morning movers, right? We do have a watch list, very popular. Thousands, I'm not going to tell you the number, but it's multiple tens of thousands of subscribers right now to the Morning Mover list. So get this, man. It's an easy read. It's like in plain English. It's not, analyst talk or anything like that. It's like GE shares solidly higher. It talks about why. There's a Goldman Sachs upgrade. It's watchlist.tradertv.live. If you can't hit that up, go to our website, tradertv.live. The link is there as well. Valeria is going to drop it in the chat for us right now. So make sure that you sign up for that. It's just an easy way to stay in touch with what we're trading. And we do get that question. I had a question yesterday on Twitter say, how do you screen for the stocks, right? We've gone over some websites that we use, but honestly, I don't even do that anymore. I just go with the watch list. I have some notes that I make overnight and in the morning, but generally it's watch list time for me. Okay, so GE, horrible trade. Forget it. My worst trade of the day. Thank God we didn't get too invested. If that would have broke 710, we would have got smoked on that. Microsoft right here, I do like this upside play. They're involved with GameStop as well. $213. Wow, loving what Microsoft's doing right now. Let's take the high side of 213 and we'll put on shares for that trade, guys. Let's go, Microsoft.
Speaking of the watch list, sometimes you'll see on there, it'll be a space that we're talking about. Clean energy, one of them, JE. I mean, GE on the brain because it's there as well. But JE moving back southbound, and I'm always going to scalp off just in case like a 750, like an even dollar area holds. But I'm going to reload this position. If it can hold this 7 even area, I think there's a chance we can get a secondary push to the upside on JE. So I dip it back into some shares of JE to see if we can get a secondary push. We hold 7, going to be all good on JE. I do have to get over to Genmark. This one is still sliding back down. I added to my position as was going to be my plan. If it can bounce off 14, I'll have to take some off. I think I'll definitely take some off in front of VWAP here, 1450 area, but still have targets in the 70 and then the $15 for the bulk of it. If it breaks above 15, I'm unlikely to have much more than 10 to 20% of the position left. Not necessarily thinking it's going to be a home run, but on positive news, bottom pick here off of what was previously a level and yesterday's close area, looks like it would have been a good idea, but it's holding that bottom, but only perilously so far on Genmark. Quickly, just want to also go back over to the cannabis space. I was looking for the short opportunity as we were talking about in ACB. Again, it never really formed. I was trying to see if it could get back above $6. There might be a fade trade in here if it can get back in and around like VWAP and roll over. That'd be more of a scalp, I think, like a 530, 535, run that into the low of the day. See if you can't get in and out while maintaining a short position. Otherwise, the home run probably come and gone if you were looking for one of these cannabis names to come back in. ACB did, just didn't get the entry that I liked. Speaking of entries that you might like, they could be off of these. Let's get some upgrades and downgrades. Brendan's at the big screen.
A couple of these yesterday, in fact. McDonald's on here. You can see Domino's over on that side. Upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. eBay having a nice day today, up 2%. L Brands upgraded the entire group, actually. The retail group upgraded again today, but you can see in negative territory. McDonald's as well, Wayfair. Over on this side, Domino's, I mentioned. AXP, American Express to the downside as well. Very muted action overall, but that QIWI also moving to the downside today on a downgrade. There's McDonald's, was higher in the pre-market here, but you can see back to basically where we ended the day yesterday. Not a lot of volume behind this move, but there was a downgrade on McDonald's after they increased their current quarter guidance yesterday. We were talking about that. American Express here on the downgrade, but right back to positive territory initially above this high. We're kind of struggling now, 105.80, bit of a problem spot for AXP. Guys, back over to you.
All right. right, Microsoft, we're in that one, guys. You did hear me talk about that. So we're starting to take some out already. 213.02. We've got some out 13s, 17s, and some 12s there. So we'll wait to see Microsoft. Here comes 12s again. 10 cents in the money. It's not huge right now. Obviously, our out's going to be back down here right at this level. It's got a nice little level downside, 212.60 or so. So we'll give that a little bit of room. We're going to give that about 40 cents of breathing room. We're already out, believe it or not, of a third. So we didn't want to give this one too much. Look at the NASDAQ. It's not going. That's fine. It's not super worrisome to me. I think we got the strong name here. Microsoft 1.17%. That new deal with GameStop. If they don't like it, then hammer it back down and get us out at 212. But we've already taken out a little bit of profit there, 1/3. And that's what I like to do. We'll see if we can hold the rest to see how high this can go to, 213.40, 50, 60, something like that. We did have some upside the other day. I'll have to pull it back. It's a couple days ago. But if you look, guys, it's 213.40. There was some support, or sorry, some resistance on the high side there. So we're going to watch out for that. Our GameStop, my chart's not working, but I'm still long at 54. Our best outs, I think, similar to where Neil got out as well. You got 30 or 20, I think. My best out there was an order that was sitting at 16 or 15 there. So we'll wait for more upside on that. But right now, GameStop is coming back down. So I'm just wondering, I don't have the chart, but I'm just wondering if this is sort of affecting a little bit here Microsoft. Again, I don't know much about the deal. I don't think any of us really do, other than what it entails. I don't know what financially it's going to be there. But GameStop right now making moves down. And Microsoft, we have that one right here at 213.02. So that's a big trade for me. So we'll wait to see. If it falls back down side, we'll get out. But I'm still hoping for about a 213.25 plus trade here.
Yeah, Sean, even the terms of how long it might be, that was sort of in question. I know Brendan was mentioning that. You guys are on point with these camera looks. I mean, this is an awesome one right here. I can show you we are pulling back, but it's this 1260 area, and just as it gets to this price, I'm gonna be adding on the way up, hopefully on GameStop here. It bounces where I was taking the dip buys right off of the open. That's at 1250 to 1260 area. So I'll take a little bit more here. Not as much as I like it in front of 12 even. This is where I think a little bit more confidence at that bottom. But either way, I'm going to start scalping this one inside of the range, still hoping for a net long position and a breakout. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Just watching this social capital SPAC once again today. All-time highs for this IPOB. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything new. Yeah, don't see anything terribly exciting. But yeah, nice move here. 17.5%. Decent volume as well. Now 22 for IPOB, guys.
This is what it looks like when you have your stop at the wrong level. Breakout trade, great. Reload trade, no, and it should stop down here at 7. And this is actually my mistake. I mispriced it, so then had to manually get out when it already broke. So it breaks 7 even instead of getting out. I kind of cost myself an extra 10 pennies here. Thankfully, didn't get the absolute bottom wick, but it's pretty close. The top break would now be that 750. However, because it's put a retracement play in, if we hold the previous high without making a run at 750, I would take a short that way as opposed to only consolidation below 7. So a couple of things we can do here. We can still play momentum to the upside, but I do like a rollover now that terminates at 725. I also want to throw back to one other name here, WWR. I did have a target, and yes, I took it off here in front of that sort of a pre-market area at 820. It continues to slide down very close to being negative on the day, only 10 cents away from that. And just to keep perspective, this stock would have a long retracement to go if it were to come all the way back from where it was a couple of weeks ago, guys. So watch out if you're still holding WWR long. I'm well out of the short now, and it's continuing to fall, so getting a little bit dangerous. I'm not bottom picking this one. There won't be any longs on it for me today.
So, Microsoft right there, guys. We continue to do it. You see me in Microsoft, you may want to jump in. Here it goes to the top side there. We're cleaning it out a little bit now. Now we don't even have to worry about this downside move. So, big time move upsides for Microsoft. Really happy with the way this one's turning out. My number one stock on the day, even though it's not even really moving. We're only in the money 30 cents, well, 25 cents. But when you put on the shares and you get that little retracement back to the upside, good trade on Softy through 213. Why did we like it? Stronger than the market. Now you get the market to go. So good little play there on Microsoft. We'll look to that one. GameStop still not moving. And then the one that we've had for a while that's not doing much is just NXPI. We're still giving it back to 140. This was embarrassing. My stop order, because the quotes I get, I don't know what happened, didn't go out at this 142 level. So now we're waiting for 140. I don't really love this one at all, but we are in this and we're waiting for NXPI. If it can get above 142, I will take more long on this name. It looks like we are making some kind of a bid. base, so this may be a good opportunity to average in, but it's just the way it's been trading there on their release, not great. So NXPI looks like we'll get flushed out here at 140, but got to tell you about it. It's a trade I have.
Yeah, and speaking of trade possibilities here, Fastly approaching what it might be a double top. We'll see what happens when it gets to this 126.60. But just saw a bit of a buyer stepping up there. They literally just got filled at 126. So someone trying to step up and pick up some shares at the high just got slammed to the downside. This has a nice little setup for what might be a secondary break. Maybe not going to give you like the $7 that it put off on the open. But let's watch out this high. It's not 126.50. It's 126.60. This is your daily chart, guys. That tells you all you need to know about what Fastly has done. I anticipate there could be a nice momentum play through the break. I will take it on the long side. GameStop continues to head up. I just took some shares out in front of 13 even. I'm long at 12.50. That's basically been my average price throughout the morning on every one of these dip buys.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately now we are getting more out. Not unfortunately, I mean, it's pretty good. We're getting out of Microsoft, but it is coming back downside. So just watching that NASDAQ fail there. So we don't want to hold this too much back down. I mean, it's been such a good winner for us. So we did take some more out there and now can't lose on this stock. So good for us on that one. But we are still going, man. We're still looking for more. Eli Lilly yesterday, we crushed that one through 150. Remember 152, guys? 153 on Eli Lilly. Well, now you're at 156. So if you did hold that one overnight, that was a good trade for you. Eli Lilly down here makes a bottom of 150, 150. Now making moves back to the upside. That's Mr. Eli Lilly. Check back quickly on Nikola just to see if there's anything happening there. And wow, no, just downside there. Surprise. Nikola, whoa, here we go. We are right near this level, man. $24. Looks like a decent one. Let's check out 24 on the daily chart if I can get it up quickly. Okay, 24. What is this level? 23 and change. Looks pretty good. I like Nikola through 27, but we're nowhere near there. 24 might be a good little breakdown spot here for Nikola, so watch out for that one. Microsoft turns negative for me now. We got to give that one a little room to breathe. We told you where we're going to get out of that one. 212.60 for a small loser. We're pretty light on this stock right now, but that is Microsoft here for you. Let's give it a little bit of room. Brendan now with small cap recap. It's been a good day for those small caps, Brendan, I think.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Yeah, definitely lots of movement in small cap world today, both directions, unfortunately for myself, to the upside. Now, for this one, AJAX, we mentioned this one yesterday, big, huge move for AJAX yesterday. Still kind of eyeing this, but it needs to get all the way up here. 255 to 260, even 270 area would be happy to revisit, but did give you a quick little flush down to 190 there off of the open, depending on where you had it going into the open. Just Energy, another one. Initial weakness here turns into big time strength, just breaking highs. We're trying to break highs here for that JE. So 32% to the upside for that one. And this one was that. Yeah, that was the one. Look at it, still falling. Wow. WWR continuation move from yesterday. $9 here. $9.40 was the resistance in the pre-market. That's $7.40 now, still plummeting to the downside. Big move down yesterday. So weakness continues to be weakness. If you see one the next day, good thing to stick to it. But that's a nice move. Watch these areas from yesterday in the pre-market for WWR. Guys, back over to you.
I was all happy to celebrate the break here in Fastly. We talked about this. Not 126.50, 126.60 was that little double top. Took some out here in front of 127.50, so it's only about an 80-cent win, not the full dollar, just because 127.50, kind of a round number. I just got filled for $1.50 on the second third of this position. And again, it's already put like a $7 move into the upside. So when you get a secondary break like this, and I look over at the NASDAQ pulling back in, I'm going to take profits on Fastly on the way to what I think can be a 130 continuation of this breakout. Strong stock up 10%. But I'm going to take profit all day long on that break if I can catch it. Then this is why. There's the pullback, so we can be put to a decision back at 126. That WWR, man, just continues to go. And Brendan, I got out basically the same place you did to only see it fall even further than that. I want to come back over to, from Fastly, over to what ends up being a losing trade, guys. So Genmark tried the bottom pick. I got out here at 14. Here's one thing. Now, it did briefly break this 14 level here on the way down. That was what gave me the idea to go long side when it kind of held. But it got all the way down to 1390. If I give the stop to the fresh low instead of that first support level, I'd still be in this long. I chose not to do that, so I'm out. We'll see how that does. One of the things you got to do is track your winners and losers. Now, and I'll ask myself on this particular setup, if it ends up that I should have just given it like 10, 15 more cents, and then you get the full move to the upside, I got to make sure I score it that way and consider that when I'm reviewing this trade, that literally maybe 5, 10 cents could have been the difference on the stop. We'll see how that goes. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Another day, another move for Jinko Solar. We've been talking about this all week long. JKS, another 7% here today. Look at this daily chart. This has gone from $20 to $60 since September. So a huge move up for JKS again today. We're at 59 now, guys, day highs.
Wow, that stock is absolutely insane. Not insane. I mean, not insane was the stock that I definitely thought, and I shouldn't complain because the GameStop has actually been my top stock today. Obviously, with the scalping now making most of the money instead of trying to get this parabolic hold. But I'll take some out. It just broke 13 again, so that'll be like a 50-cent win, given that I've been averaging in around a lot of these entries at the 50, 60 range. There was one good one down, or a couple of good ones down here in the 30s, but those shares have already taken off. It's now about these 60s on the reload. Look, if it eventually goes upside, we're anticipating that there could be a big squeeze, but it needs to take off the top. You're very unlikely with 20 million shares worth of volume. It's like a 42 million float. I hope I have that exactly right, or close to right. But it's just the shot that it takes out either this high at 1350-ish, makes a move up to that 1470. This is where it got to yesterday that I mentioned. You need to break to those to actually get the squeeze going. You know, these types of moves aren't going to scare the big boys. Little day traders, yeah, you might get out when these things pop like 50, 60 cents, but the big boys aren't. And that's what you have to get going for any kind of a squeeze. Still a possibility. That's why I've been net long the entire time. And Sean as well. We're both going to be long. Well, I shouldn't say this. We're probably both going to be long this as long as it's above that 12. All kinds of reasons, I think, to see if you can't have a core position to that long side in the event of a squeeze. We've seen what happened with Kodak, and I'm not saying it's going to happen here, but the possibility makes the risk-reward worth it.
Yeah, no, and I just took some more out there. We're long right now. You can see at the bottom, GameStop at probably same price, $12.54. So we just took some out at 06 there for 65-cent winner. So we'll do that, and then we'll go upside now and just see what happens here with GameStop. Obviously, my charts aren't working. We've talked about that for this stock. I just don't want to log out. Looking at too many things. The high, 1360. We'll see if we take that out. Okay, Microsoft flirts around a little bit. We still have this position. Where's my charts? Yeah, it's been a fun day for me. We still have this position. We'll wait for the high side now. I'm not dumping any more shares. We will wait to see if Microsoft goes. The NASDAQ does make a bottom. So does Microsoft. This wick, I don't know if that happened or not, 71, but we were waiting for a 60 break. So now we will wait for the rest. We do have an order up here, 27. We'll get out of that, hopefully, if that comes through, and then hold the rest. Again, it's going to be our last 10%. I always do it. This is something that I've told you I'd try to work on by holding more. But, whatever works for you. So we will try to hold on to a little bit more. Apple is right near that spot as well that I liked at the morning, which was 115.80. It already broke it early and then bounced around. So now that level is really no more. Watch out for this. We're just right there, right here. VWAP, 115.75. So possibly something to happen right there with Apple. If you did like a long, take it through 116. Yeah, you're Fastly. Wow. We're long Fastly in our own account. Again, we gave this one to a lot of you viewers as well. It's over on the NYSE. Down $75, $80. Wow. 127 on TikTok. What a big mover, man. Up 10% today. Oh yeah, TikTok. Whatever happened with that? I wonder if Oracle's going to be getting that, or my boy Microsoft. I hope gets it. But right now, Oracle. Yeah, that was 64, 65 on some of that TikTok deal. And now you can see sleepy time. We used to trade it, Neil. Now we do not.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that when it's in play, it's in play. It's like IBM, right? Like I've traded IBM on the show one time, and that was yesterday off of the news. And I shouldn't say, I might touch it again, but likely not, guys. I'll take more shares out of GameStop, and it's going to continue to hold that little scalp. But it's lower. It's again a lower high. So first 13.25. I just took some out at 17s, and it's trying to put in a lower high at 13.20. At some point, this is going to have to break one of these levels to the upside to get what I'm looking for. Fastly starting to come back in close to break even from holding this last third just to see if we can get that push to 130. Brennan, what do you got? Precision
PGEN on the NASDAQ, 25% today. Merck disclosing a larger stake than first thought in this company today. This is a biotech, guys.
All right, we're just gonna tweet this Microsoft one out because I always get people asking me about Softy and what we're doing. That's not a good picture. We'll figure that out after. I'll tweet it out again. Yeah, we just got out there 27, so that was a good out. Like we said, we were sitting there at 27. Now we'll hold the rest. 4 days high, man. 213.40. We'll get an order there. We'll stick it, and then we'll wait to see the rest. That's what's happening right there. NXPI, where is it, man? A little too spicy for me. Let's hit the fall down a hole. What? That's not spicy. Oh, spicy milk. Okay. Flush down. I really did hit the spice button there, guys. I don't know what happened. But NXPI there falls down. And again, I think this was it. Look, it's my own fault. I'm responsible for the trades, but something happened here at 142, and my order didn't go out. So that would have been a good out there. We tried it. We tried 140. Could have got out at 142 again. So that's on me. But we just thought NXPI, after a big early report there, would have busted through. We did take 144, able to capture some profit. But then the last out comes out there. So when you're only taking 75-cent winners and then losing $3 on the last piece, you're not going to win, FYI. Okay, here comes GameStop. We are now near the high of the day. So this is probably worth taking some out, guys.
Yeah, I'll show you here. I mean, you see Sean's executions, and that's a good thing here. Executions are obviously working. You're seeing us trade live. But my chart's up on GameStop. It just popped through that 20, 25 mark. I took some out at 30s, in the low 30s, that is. So last shares in was at 12.73. That's what I'm holding on to. That's going to be like a 50, 60 cent winner. I'm scalping basically around that range as an average out while maintaining a smaller core position. I still want it to break the high. I'm going to make sure it does that. I want to be long if it does. If it takes it out, very likely, as long as I'm not doing it into a potential halt, I'll take the long break for more shares, looking at 1470. Next level up on GameStop. I'm also saying this right here, right now. I don't know where we are in the likes, but if I catch this fly on air, we better get to 2000s. I'm not like Danielson or anything, or the Karate Kid, but there's a fly around here, and if I get it with my bare hands, I think it's pretty impressive. I'm going to get that puppy.
Yeah, let's get that fly for show. GameStop, I still don't have any outs yet. We're still waiting for highs. I said 1370, so we'll try that to see if that one's going to come in through for us. That's GameStop on the high side there. Microsoft. Bang! That's it. Microsoft, the floss action right now. Yeah, hells to the yeah. We're taking this out to the high side right now. Should have held all of them, but I always say that, so nothing new on that one. Let's get some out here at 60 if we can and celebrate a big 60-cent win here, going through 213 even. Gave that one to you when we were down here, so really happy with the price movement on Microsoft and glad you guys hopefully have this one. I know a lot of you do take these trades. Marlon, I'm looking at you if you're watching today. Sorry, my eyes haven't been on the chat today, so it's just been a busy one elsewhere, as you can see, as I try to deal with some of these issues. 213.60 right there. Oh, did we get filled there? No, we did not. Come on. There it is. Microsoft chart working. Boom, with a nice little floss action. We'll hit the floss again, but nice little win there for Softy. Let's see if we can't keep this train going.
I just answered in the chat, but I have not seen Cobra Kai yet. I've heard it's fantastic, but I have not started. It's on my list. I have a long list of things to watch. I don't get to them. We do get to GameStop. It took off the top here. I added to the position like I said we would. We've taken some off, of course, on the way up. We add. This is where we're starting to anticipate a bit of a parabolic move. Yes, I will take some off in front of 14. It only seems prudent to do so. But if we can get some halts above that 14 mark, I want to make sure we hang on to the long. New entry point here is 1367. All of my 1270s are now out for a $1 plus win. Now holding on to the breakout trade. That's a separate trade here, 67. I am hoping we get some kind of a halt to the upside on GameStop. Hasn't happened yet, but starting to go parabolic, which is what we anticipated with 100% short interest.
Yeah, we just took a $1.40 win on that. Look at this. We're in here, guys. This is a beautiful chart. I mean, look how beautiful this looks. Look at the candles. It looks so great. But we're in here, out up here, 114. Neil, it's parabolic time, so let's keep going upside here on GameStop.
It's so easy. You don't need charts. And this is this is an inside joke, and I apologize. You guys aren't going to get this, but there was a trader back on the floor, I want to say like 15 years ago. We were at a different location, actually, in Toronto. And he would say, I'm on fire. I don't even need the charts. And he would look away, but I'm not going to call out his name. But a fun one there for you. Sean doesn't need the charts, apparently. This GameStop is just that easy. Brendan, what do you got?
Just watching Spartan Nash here. Looks like they've teamed up with Amazon. I'm going to keep reading this, but they've issued some warrants for the company to Amazon. So Amazon taking a little bit of a stake here in this SPTN, if you're wondering. Huge move on this thing as well today. 1850 up to 22 on decent volume as well for SPTN, guys.
All right, we're really, we're
it's starting to slow down.
Happy.
Go ahead. So I'm going to show you the chart here because it's just starting to slow down in GameStop, just northbound of that 14 mark. So I take some out in front of the quarters. Still long 1367. That's the new entry on the breakout. There has been no halt to the upside as of yet. Just noting here, it got to like 1460. That was the high of the crazy move yesterday. You got to go way back here to get some levels here, and this is where we're going to come up with like 17. I don't know if these are going to matter. Quite frankly, if we break this area and go to $15, likely we're halting upside and the squeeze is on, and you can probably throw out that 17 number until things settle down. Maybe it comes back into play. We'll see. No halts yet. Still going parabolic. 20 million in volume. We're both long on this name. I should take you guys back to Fastly as well. This comes back in. I'm giving it past break even. For the final third here. I just like to see if we can't hold this area. I'm not going to give it all the way to VWAP. I'm probably not going to give it all the way to 125. But I'd like to see how it tests this 126 area. If it does bounce back to the upside, then we have a good hold on the way to 130. If it consolidates below, then I can start thinking about taking it off. But Fastly has been so strong. You got to at least try to give it some room here on this little dip to see if it can continue this move up.
Yeah, no, 1,100% on everything there. Look at GameStop, though, man. Still going. We're still in this, man. We're long at 1254. Thanks for everything. I see everyone giving Neil and myself credit for this GameStop. And look, just get our watch list. We talked about why this one would go parabolic. Join us every day at 9 o'clock. We did give you this one. Neil actually opened the show with GameStop. So that was a good trade there. And we both have it, like you mentioned, Neil. So good trade here. Very happy with the way this one's moving. Just wish I could show you on the chart, but you all know where we're long. Here we go, 1450 down here. We're long at 1250. This is a $2 win rate here for GameStop. So let's just keep letting this thing ride to the high side there. Microsoft as well, guys. 67 cents now in the money. Now 67 cents. We're long at 213.02 on Mr. Softy. So good trading here. Let's just keep going. I got to learn to hold more than 10% on these ones, guys. But Softy going upside as well. Look at the NASDAQ. What a great Friday.
I think we're going to Brennan here in a quick second. I'm hoping he has something on JPM because it's about to hit $100 even. Whoa. What's up, Brennan?
I'm going to talk about India Global, guys. IGC, we mentioned yesterday a couple of times. Big time volume yesterday on IGC. Back to the upside again today. 24%. Huge volume spike right off the open, but we're into some significant resistance points for IGC. Valeria is watching what is going on over in Europe. About an hour left in the session over there, V.
Yes, Brendan, Rolls-Royce shares have doubled during this week. The stock is up more than 11% now. Back to you.
Yeah, some of the automakers back to the upside again today, guys.
You know, if you just the first time Rolls-Royce came up on that on these looks here for a European update, if you bought the first time Valeria started talking about it, and of course traded over in London, I mean, wow, you're looking at a pretty good return. Just continues to move to the upside, not moving up. And I sort of mentioned this. I'm not sure what's up here with JP Morgan, but $100 even. Firmly on the radar. You know, I apologize for the wicks on this chart. We'll zoom in on the daily chart just so you can see. You know, if you look at the moving average here, like 99, looks like it might be better support. And it had made a move into resistance, but never quite got to 105. So kind of a hard turn, shy of resistance on JP Morgan. I'm going to quickly jump back over to Fastly, which is. Okay, I was about to say Fastly moving up, but that's literally horrible. So quickly moving to the upside. It's about to break this high of day at 128.50. I'm not going to trail it until we get a test of 130. If we break 130, it's trailing stop time. If I see a big seller, I'll just get out of the position. So going to make a judgment call at that 130 level, but no trailing stop just yet. Fastly still going. GameStop coming back in a little bit. I took some out in front of 1450, and then if it comes back down, anywhere close to my 1367 breakout, I'll get out of that trade flat. Didn't go as far as I thought, but a nice little winner on both these. Fastly, let's see if it can't keep going. Market at the high of the day.
Yeah, the market is ripping upside, and we just tweeted out that Softy trade. Now we have a little piece left. So big time winner there for Microsoft, and the NASDAQ just continues to march higher, like Neil said. So good trade there. I don't know, GameStop, it does kind of stop up there at the top. So there is a possibility that that move is over now. Again, I don't have the charts to show you, but it does go as high there as 1450. That was a $2 winner. Still holding on to a small piece. We'll see if it even wants to go even more than that. We've given price targets huge. You remember Kodak, you guys remember SPI. When stocks kind of break down, there is obviously some market mechanics that don't seem to work very well. Apple as well, breaking that high level that we gave you. We're still waiting for it to come up to 116.25. That should be a good trade. Check back on NXPI. Okay, back to 140. That's okay. It does go down as far as 139. We're right at that level again. Trying to maybe go long again, but I think like the long was probably out. You can see the NASDAQ, nothing but love. NXPI, nothing but down. So not a good ratio there for me. We'll stay away from NXPI right now.
Yeah, and this is what I meant about the pullback in GameStop. You see that hard turn. It did break 1450 here. I'll get some out on the front side, not the back side, and then it comes back in, holds 14. I mean, if it's going to hold this opening range break, which is like a 1360 break, can't even dip below 14 even without holding lower. I mean, the squeeze could be on, guys. Let's be honest. If it continues to go here, it could get really ugly for anyone caught in the short. I am not shorting this name until there are halts. Either if it halts to the upside, then I can look for a downward halt. I'm not shorting it literally unless it's below $12 or it's already gone through a series of halts. So that's probably the only two conditions under which I'd look for shorts on GameStop, which were oddly enough for us. And shout out to Daytrade the World, who we trade for free today. And thankfully, that didn't entice me to get in. I mentioned that to Brendan. He said, there's no way I'm shorting that stock today. Those are the words out of his mouth when I told him the locates were free for us on GameStop. And if you're asking, what's Lewis Daniels behind us? That's these puppies. Our guest traders of the day get them. Our guest trader of the day today will be getting one as well. But someone asked on the chat if we have educational videos. Well, yes, we do. So on our Market Wisdom channel, you can check these out. We drop one every single day. This one here, talking about money management. That's Brendan's face, but we're all talking about this topic. And it's more about, when you're managing your account or managing your investment or trading account, when do you draw out funds? How do you manage risk? What are some positives and negatives about each of those practices? So take a quick look at it. If there's something you want us to cover that we haven't, drop it in the chat, tweet at any of us, throw it in the comment section, and we will get to it. This was a suggestion actually from our trading floor. So we take suggestions everywhere and try to give you guys what you want when it comes to that educational content. I can't take it off, so hopefully you guys can take this one off. That button not working for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. And that's a good one, too. And like Neil said there, hit us up, Twitter, anywhere. Let us know what you think about some of those videos. And if you want some new topics, we're here for you, including maybe short borrows. How do we get them all? What am I doing here? This is GE. I want to bring up GE here because the chart's not working. That's fine. This 680. If we can break back above 680, we'll take GE. I should get off of it because obviously the chart's not working. So we'll move on to something else. DraftKings, bad stock right now. If anybody holding that one, again, people tweeting at me what to do with DraftKings. I like DraftKings. I'm long. Oh man, this is not working either. I'm long. Come on, DraftKings. I'm long in the 30s, like mid 30s. Didn't take any out in the 60s. Should have. There is obviously issues right now. Baseball's coming to an end. You do see some controversy right now with some of the players in the NFL and whatnot. So DraftKings is pulling back. Remember, they had that $1.6 billion share offering down at $52. So I'm not going to go long. If you're starting a position in DraftKings right now, what I would prefer, to do is start small. If you do like it, this has been a big drop, right? You do have this $48. We'll stare that in the face. We'll see if that can give us a trade when it comes. But right now, DraftKings, this is where I got long in this consolidation. Like we said, the 50 period was right there. Now we're making moves to the upside. Watch out for DraftKings here, $48. And then 52, that's the line in the sand. If you get above 52 and you haven't made a position yet, that's when I would start to add on a little bit. But right now, DraftKings, for a daily trade, it's getting close. If we break above 50, this could be one. So let's take a look at that. Actually, I'm going to wait for this level right here. 50.25. 50.25 comes. DraftKings gets traded by me, guys.
Just noting here, JE is halted over in Toronto, but I still see it trading in New York. So if you're watching this name, do watch a volatility halt over in Toronto. Trades on both locations, so interesting to see it halt in one and not the other. I can't actually believe it's 1040. That means it is time for us to get to one of our favorite segments. Brendan's at the big screen. Let's go to Sector Watch.
Hey guys, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Bit of a mixed story so far today. We have, the market is higher, 0.4%, but very mixed as far as the actual board is concerned. We saw right off the bat this morning, oil prices lower, more than a full percent. So the entire energy group in negative territory here. Those little real estate stocks as well as some of the REITs to the downside as well today, along with utility shares. So these three groups kind of offsetting positivity coming from this side of the board. Tech stocks back in charge outside of, AMD 3.5% to the downside. There's XLNX 12.5% higher. NVIDIA also in negative territory, 1.25%. Micron as well. So most of the bigger semis anyways to the downside. TER, we have QRVO, LRCX, and MXIM all up 1.5% to 2%, but being offset there. IBM in negative territory today, as we mentioned, 1.9% to the downside. FTNT, SNPS, and Now all 2 to 3% higher. So kind of, again, offsetting some of the weakness overall. Just saw FFIV there down a full percent today as well. Consumer discretionary stocks have been mostly higher this week, so a little bit of profit taking possibly. RL here, we have Under Armour and both UAA and UA. Obviously, you can trade either one. Gap, L Brands, and eBay, the biggest ones here. Etsy as well, 3.2% to the upside, offsetting as well in the consumer discretionary group. Some of the travel names in negative territory, mostly the hotels. Cruise lines higher 2 days in a row for the cruise lines, worth mentioning. 1.6% for Norwegian, CCL 0.7%. Overall, as I mentioned, a little muted so far today. All about the individual names, only 0.5% for the S&P to the upside. Let's go back to Sean.
Only 0.5%. Okay. We are trading some luck in coffee here. It's not really doing too much. I do have a couple fills on it. Nowhere near the volume that we've had recently on this name. So if you do see me into this one again, come on, charts. We did have a couple bottom picks here, but it hasn't really been a winning trade for me. So luck in coffee today, we're small and waiting for it to do something. So that's luck in. And here it comes crashing to the downside. So we'll probably try to get out of some of these shares if we can. And there we go. So in and out of luck in for a nice little 2-penny loser there. But that's just what, if you do see that pop in every once in a while, it's luck in coffee. That's former, what was it, LK or LQ on the NASDAQ before it went absolutely parabolic to the downside. It was actually halted for quite a while, luck in coffee, and then opened back up here on the pink sheets. And it's been a huge run. Let me just show it to you right here in luck in coffee. It came to the pink sheets, man, at 80 cents or what is this bottom? 96 cents. Made it up to $6 the other day. That's why we're trading it. It's big volume right now, but right today it's actually not. So we're just reaching for something here on it, and it's not really doing much. But right now, Microsoft all the way up, all the way down. We're going to get out of some of this. Right now, we're holding literally 5% left. So that's been a big trade. We love it. So we'll dance the gorilla off here because generally speaking, when we're into Microsoft, it's a big trade. And there it is. Look at that consolidation. I wish I would have saw this because that would have been a good out right here, guys. 213.54. If you ever see something like that off of a big move, this little out should have been taken by me. So now we'll wait for this probably right here, 213.20. So we'll get out at 213.20, or we'll put an order somewhere up here in the 70s. Definitely Microsoft, my #1 stock today.
Yeah.
Well, GameStop, sorry.
If you guys heard me chuckle down there, you almost caught me on it. I almost got caught on there with my mask on. Went for a quick bathroom break. Someone asked us the other day, like, how do you guys trade and manage to do this for 3 hours without going to the bathroom? We're just really slick about it. Sean will cover, and I'll make a quick run and then sit back down. But almost had that mask still on that you guys would have seen. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. But I did get a reload in GameStop. That might be a big deal if it breaks this 1360 to the downside or this 1350 area. And obviously, it's been a fantastic trade. I've been net long, and Sean's been net long basically the entire show since right off the open, dip buy, a couple of dip buys here, usually in the 1260 range, one that did come down to that 1220. And again, when we go over the watch list, and I can confirm it was number one stock on the list. We talked about it at the open of the show for a reason, because you kind of anticipating, we're all looking at this in the afternoon. You kind of knew this might be a big one in terms of volatility today. And oddly enough, I would actually say that GameStop hasn't been as volatile as I expected. As good as it's been, and it's obviously going to be a top stock today, it still hasn't moved quite as much as I expected it was going to. Another one which has moved more than I expected is now up 11% and is again testing the high is Fastly. It hasn't broken 129, so no move to 130 just yet. No clean break of 126. I'm still holding this long breakout at 126.60. That's still going to be in the money for me in the final third. I scalp out, and again, on a $126 stock that's already put a $7 to $10 move to the upside. Taking $1 to $1.50 is a scalp trade. I mean, so that's that style there. The last third is a little bit different. You'll give it a bit more room to see if we can't get a break of 130. I think it's a little bit unlikely, but the market is about to crack 1% to the upside. And guess what else is about to head back up? it looks like trying to make a move. And if it breaks 14 here in GameStop, could have another test of the high. It still has yet to make the true parabolic move into a halt, which I still think can happen with a 100% short interest.
Yeah. And we'll wait for that to happen as well. So Microsoft order up here, 213.70, bottom pick 213.20 if it does break. We did talk about that. Yeah, we still have our GameStop. Okay, GE, I do have an order to go through 680. I'm just gonna log out again and back in and see if it refreshes these charts. I'm gonna go long through 680 on GE. So if you see that come in, this is my worst stock. I mean, there's really nothing else that's been bad for me. NXPI was bad. We talked about that, but what can we do? That's what that is. But GE, we're gonna wait for that. Luckin Coffee's not doing too much. Let's check back in on AMD. Floating around. AMD was actually a decent trade, man. This is one of my best trades here of the day. So look at this bottom on AMD. Wish we would have saw that 83.40. The Monkey Shiner, you're back in the building. Thank you so much for that. In and out of GameStop yesterday and today. You guys helped me make the nerves, or keep my nerves. Thanks, Trader Family. I mean, look, sometimes you gotta just relax, and try to figure out your levels and just trade off that, kind of like what Arun says about the futures. Brendan?
Vivo Power guys talked about it right off the bat this morning. They jumped into the EV game, picking up a smaller electric vehicle company. It's just been breaking back to the downside. I saw this at 1650 and thought about it, but we're all the way down to 1450 now for VVPR, looking like it might want to break further. Still 45% on the day, though, guys.
Yeah, that looks like it's breaking down. XLNX, and of course, we talk about this one because the second possible massive merger, now they show no interest in selling, of course, to AMD, and we already have the ARM and NVIDIA deal, which obviously could have some regulatory hurdles as well, but they're both massive potential deals. Either way, I'm going to be looking to pick up some XLNX here, and I was sort of targeting about a 114 area. It actually just broke the bottom at 118.50, but just immediately starts going sideways. So I'm not saying this is where it's going to firm up, but that could be a failed bottom break. If it breaks back up, maybe this is a turn. I was kind of hoping that you'd get like 114 to be able to buy like anyone that has a stop at 115, a psychological level gets broken, you take some shares long on that, gives you a fantastic entry price. So that's what I was looking for in XLNX. Hasn't happened yet, but if it does break this level to the downside, good shot that we could be picking up. And this is all while we're still screaming. We just got past 1% to the upside on the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, the NQs. However, Fastly, on the other hand, has come back in for me here, guys. So Fastly's a good break, and it's been a good one for me, but it looks like it's having some trouble at this 129 area. Still in a bit of a trend, so I have no decision to make just yet, but I want a 130 break to the upside and see if we can hold through the last third of this position. Brendan, what's up?
Flying Eagle Acquisition Corporation, another SPAC, guys, moving today, 7.5% here. A nice breakthrough, 1310 up to 1350 now. On decent volume. This is the one that's taking that Skills esports company public. So SPAC, FEAC, but not seeing any other headlines as far as today or recent anyways on this one, but decent volume on FEAC, guys.
All right. Thank you, Brendan, for that. Yeah, it's tons of SPACs, like just doing crazy volumes and getting into the business there. The SEC is actually going to be looking into some of the SPACs and what's going on with those. But look at Mr. Softy. That's why we'll explode the money. We'll do the catapults. Thank you for this trade, my largest one. I keep saying that, but really it's GameStop. But you guys have all heard about that. Microsoft, look at this, man. Long 213, out here 213.70. Follow us on Twitter for that play. And we tweeted out. I tweeted out why we took it and what the key was there. And again, it was just that we were up 1%, right? And the market was down. It was down up less than that. So Microsoft, nice little move to the top side there. Good trade as we keep looking. Like, our eyes are going everywhere. If you guys have this shot here, you can show what else we're looking at here. I have a couple different notes on the board here. Different stocks that we're looking at, different opportunities, then hot lists, different time frames. Daily chart, 30-minute chart, 3 minutes, so on and so forth. Lots of stuff happening. Tweet deck, things like that here. Chats for us. But yeah, big time opportunities in the market today and heading into the voting cycle, which basically is on right now as everyone roadshows. Kamala Harris, thank you so much for the shout out to CGC and some of the marijuana names. Today we did talk about possibly taking a little bit of profit. I hope some of you did when Brendan identified this rip upside there. That was an opportunity to get out. I'm gonna leave this alone. As I said today, there wasn't really much that we saw early on some of these levels. I thought they were too extended, but yet I didn't want to go short on them just in case. Tilray was up huge and all the way back down. If you do rewind, we did talk today that I thought marijuana was a little overheated the last couple of days. This might be a good opportunity to pick some up here down. Tilray down here today. Good opportunity at $6 to pick some up. Look, it's Money Talks time. This is my favorite section, not just because money is there, but we are interested in what's happening in crypto. A lot of you are in different nations, so let's see what some of the currencies in the Forex market has today.
Hey guys, yeah, a little bit muted so far this morning in currency land. We'll show you a few things. I wanted to mention Bitcoin right off the bat here. I just realized my chart is not updating, but it's actually above this 11,000. If we come over to the actual quote, you can see 11,070. So we have cleared this kind of resistance area from way back when. So another day and another decent move to the upside for Bitcoin. Ethereum following suit as well, back to 360. We were talking about 340 earlier in the week for Ethereum. So nice moves there for both of those. The Canadian, all of these really against the U.S. dollar going to be higher today. A little bit of weakness coming back into the U.S. dollar because of the lack of progress in the stimulus negotiations. So both the euro and Canadian dollar nicely higher. You can see 76.13 now for the CAD. Back above 76 cents. The British pound also hovering around that 130 area. It was a little bit higher. Did break it briefly early on this morning, but back down 129.9 for the British pound. Both the Japanese yen, Swiss franc are lower on the day. Australia and New Zealand back to the upside as well. Very, very muted moves overall, but 72.25 was where we started the day for Australia, guys. So overall, cryptos where to be again today. Big move up for Bitcoin. Back over to you.
Another name from Brendan here, Jinko Solar, JKS, not just a double top today, but go back to about this time yesterday, almost exact, well, a little bit after 11 o'clock, not exactly this time, but here's that 59.60 as well. Big move up into it, 10% move bottom to top, reverse hard almost the entire way. And look, same afternoon support that it had, and then back up towards this high. I'm going to be taking this. Look, I'm going to take this fade trade, but it's going to be a reverse into a long. This is just a setup that I can't ignore. You have multiple reasons to like this level, not just the double top here, but also running into the previous high. So I get some shares short here, just on the north side of 59. Risking anywhere from 50 cents to $1 depending on slippage and whether I'm able to add into the position around this price area. But I'm not giving it too far past that high of day. You can give it maybe extra like 10, 15 cents or so just to be safe. And then want to see first level if we break back down towards this 58 for $1. That'll be the scalp side of the trade. Probably going to be some chop at 57.50 on the way back in because that was support on the way up and some consolidation. And then from there, you want to see if we can get down to that 56.50 on the way down. Yesterday it was clean to that price. I don't think that'll be the case today because everyone can see that same setup 2 days in a row.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's the thing. You got to watch the setups because what you see, other people see as well. And sometimes they'll hunt orders there for sure. So, okay, Tesla, I'm still looking at GE. I tried some tricks to get that chart going. No mas right now. 431 right now, Tesla. I do like the top side break. You could see it did tick up as high as 433 in the pre-market. So if this NASDAQ continues to make highs, I don't see why this stock also can't join the party a little bit and get going. Although NASDAQ and Tesla very, very tied to each other right now, both up more than 1%. So obviously a name to look at here is Tesla. On that note, though, let's go over to NEO and have a quick look on that. We'll look at more time frames as well on this stock, but we're right at VWAP. That's kind of the interesting thing right now, and it's 2150. So this is a decent level right here, 2150 on NEO. Any size? No real size. Bounced off 40. So yeah, let's go long a little bit here on NEO and see if we can't get this back to the day's high.
Definitely a good look there. I've gotten away from GameStop, but I have to get back to you. It's going to be the first hit we're going to take. And I said if it broke back below that breakout price, I'd take out that reload. It breaks, and I'm going to get like almost like the bottom wick here. But it's one of those things where I have my out. I'm going to take it. It's the first time I haven't been long at any point in terms of my core position. I will get back in if we do retest like that 12 even area. That'll be one way to take a shot. If it takes the top off, fair enough. If we get some sideways consolidation, I think I can definitely make a judgment call to get back in, just in the off chance that there's like a lunchtime or 1:30 break to the upside. But not going to get away from GameStop because it's been good. But I also want to make sure that we're tracking some of these other names. JE, I'll come back to it here. On the way back in, I sort of was looking at 725, 750. It just bounced off of. This one has been trending all the way to the upside. You can see my breakout trade worked. My reload, horrible. We got the nice price on the reload here at 720, but got wicked out when it broke that 7 even. And then it goes, not parabolic, but a strong move on Just Energy to the upside, testing at the 850 level, which is yet to break. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, just saw that note somebody was talking about Pinduoduo in the chat, up significantly today. There was an analyst with a positive note out on that company specifically. Just wanted to show you JD.com here, another Chinese e-commerce related name. Still higher on the day, but 2% on decent volume as well. But if you flip over to PDD, wow, yeah, huge move up from 74 in the pre-market to 79, guys.
All right. Yeah, good look there. I will look at JPM. Neil brought that up before. I didn't look at it, so we will look there. I know Neil was talking about, I think, close to breaking 100. We'll see if it did do that. Okay, so in here, 53s, in here, 55s, a little bit of an average price, 54 and change. So let's wait to see now what this wants to do. That's NIO to the top side. Apologize to everybody today. It's been a little distracting, but we are now back into NIO. It's having a problem here. I don't know why it doesn't want to go. NASDAQ's near the high side. Look, VWAP's down here, 2150. We'll give it a little bit more breathing room, down to 2147.48. I know this sounds crazy. I just don't want to hold it all the way back down here. You could do that. I mean, we will hold some of it to the downside if it does come back down, but just looking at a 2148.49 break, I just feel like if it breaks that, then we come and test this anyways. So why not get out and then reload back down here if we can do that? So my out will be here, 47.48, and then if we can get some more 36s, 37s, we will, and then use this bottom as the very bottom. So just don't want to get caught holding too many shares here on NEO, especially at 11 o'clock. So, but whatever. We do have out target 60 and then mid 60s. So if we can get that, we'll get out of half, and then we'll try to hold the rest for 70s-ish. So that'll be a good trade if we can get it. GE, we're still waiting. I can't show you the chart. We're still waiting for that one to go as well. And then JP Morgan, Neil, that's what we just talked about. Let me quickly check. Oh, man, that's bouncing like crazy. Good call there. I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to mute my mic, but that's a great call through $100.
Yeah, what a move. And a spicy, what the? That's not a spicy meatball. You know what? You said that yours wasn't working. I should have assumed that mine would do something else. Don't cry over spilt milk, so I won't cry over the short breaking out on JKS here. I did reverse to the long, of course. I'll scalp some off because it got to 60 and then immediate resistance at 60. So I took a third off in front for like a 25 center. That's probably not giving it enough room to the upside. Now that it's broken 60, this is what we're dealing with. And this is the top breakout that we're looking at. So it was a double top today. It was a high yesterday. I think it was worth the rollover opportunity. I laid that trade out for you. But now that it's past the 60 mark, the break is sort of on. And this is a secondary, tertiary, whatever you want to call it, break to the upside on this name. Maybe even more than that on Jinko Solar. If it breaks 60.50, I'll use that momentum to get some more shares out from there, likely to start trailing it. Fastly has bounced off of my 126 and is back in the money, about $1, but I've already scalped that much off for that trade. I'm hanging on to both of these for potential long breaks. You do have the market moving to the upside. These are making some breakouts, both these names, Fastly and Jinko Solar. Shout out to Brendan for giving me Jinko, my first time ever trading it, but the setup, I gotta like it here off of this break, yesterday's and today's highs. We talked a little bit about Rolls-Royce over in Europe. Valeria is going to be back right now at the big screen for the European update.
European update. European market is pretty choppy today. Spain is down 0.68%. France is up 0.61%. Germany is down 0.11%, and Britain is up 0.67%. Yes, Neil, Rolls-Royce is a crazy positive mover this week. The stock is up almost 10% now. Back to the traders.
Look at that daily chart. I don't know, whatever. Beautiful cars and, wow, awesome opportunity. And again, look, this is one of the things here, Day Trade the World. You'll see Sean, Brennan, and I will trade almost exclusively over in the U.S. markets, NASDAQ, formerly Amex, and NYSE as well.
One more time.
Occasionally we'll trade Toronto, usually if we're going to be in like maybe an energy name or one of the Canadian banks, probably because it's in the cannabis space. But we do have access to, I mean, more markets than I can count. including all of Europe. So we used to trade them. Now the focus since COVID has been so good in the volatility in the U.S. markets, it's hard to get away from it. Coming back over to Jinko just briefly, running into a bit of resistance at that 60-50 level. It's now the second time it's making a bit of a test. We like to show you guys level 2 because we have access, direct market access. There's nothing there. And literally, as I say it and try to show you that there was nothing on the offer at 60-50, just a psychological level there. Just choose right through it. Not a lot of size there whatsoever. So if it gets through 61, I'll think about where I need to trail my stop to. I'll give it a little bit past break even. The breakout occurred at 59.60, so I think I can safely give this to like 59.50 or so. But now running in the money, Jinko. Fastly, on the other hand, it is holding the high. So we do have a nice break price. It's retested that breakout and held, but it's starting to form a bit of a wedge. So I need to think about, if it breaks back below 126, we got to be thinking about getting out of this trade. And there might be another long off of like 123.50, but this trade I would be out if it breaks 126. I will hold through a high break. This is a setup where you could be thinking about, does it break out again? Do I take to 128.80 long? I'm already long here, so no problems there. But it might be a breakout again at this price through that 130 high, especially if it forms that wedge. Sometimes I'd be shorting a name like this. Not today. And there goes GameStop again. Wow. Market, GameStop, everything's up.
Oh, man, I meant to hit the cheer button there, so we do a cheer because your boy logged out, your boy logged in, and look at GE. Hey, GE, we have charts now. So a good little thing there. We're happy about that. The reason why I had to do it is because I do like this 80 break on GE if it does come. Obviously, down here at 70s would have been pretty nice. We're going to put on not a huge trade, but we will put one on through 680, 681 or so if that happens back to the upside. Now I can talk about GameStop. Please load GameStop. Please. Yes, sir. So here's GameStop early, man. In there. In again. Boom, boom, boom. Upside. Didn't get anything out. So right now we're still holding GameStop low. Let's see what happens here now. Upside on GameStop. If we have anything 1450, 1460. So yeah, really happy about that. Oh, and game time. You're happy we talked about NIO just a little bit here, right? So here we go, man. 61s in and out there. In 54s. Out 61, 63s. Out 61 again. Just bang that one. So here we go, man. NIO. So we're here and we're back. So yes, nice to have the platform near. I'll have to send a note to IT. Logged out and back in there. Did work if you guys are watching it. So anybody else at Day Trade the World that has that problem right now, hopefully you don't. But log out and back in. I waited a long time to do that. So there's the trade. Hallelujah. Microsoft. Good trade here, man. We're basically out at the high of the day. Can't get much better than that. This is like, and we've done, and Neil just talked about this a little bit, I think earlier. We did a education segment on our A+ setups that we gave for free. Like, so many places charge you for these things. Oh, this is breaking up. Watch my trade ideas scanner, yada, yada, yada. Hammer the long. But, I mean, this is Microsoft. This is a big stock. This is exactly what I like. You see the break here at 930 upside. We missed this. This would have been the better break, but we wait for the high side break of 213. We get a scaling up VWAP here, this side, upside, bang that trade out. Just got to learn to hold a little bit more so we can take some upside trades on that one. 61 keeps holding on NIO, but this is a 7-cent winner, so pigs get slaughtered. We keep saying that here on the show, and I just feel like if you don't take profits on some of these stocks, you will pay the price. So right here, NIO upside, good little target there. This one, we're only out of 25%, so NIO, we're looking for more on this one, guys. Hopefully you have it with us. Brendan, what up, B?
Another one that's been just on a tear this week, Aclaris Therapeutics, ACRS. Look at this daily chart from $2 up to $5 today, or almost $5. We're just about there on decent volume once again. They increased their current quarter outlook this morning as well. So a nice look for ACRS, guys.
That one's got a level approaching right here at $5. The volume, it's 1.4 million, which compared to the names on our watch list and every stock that I trade today is going to be rather light. But the thing that's worth noting and why it's going to be interesting to me is look at how well the volume is holding up later into the session. Just sort of contrast that with yesterday's action. Like it had a move to the upside on high volume and literally died out the rest of the day as it ground higher. Now you have better sustained volume in through that high. If it rolls over at $5, I just show you on the daily chart, I'll like to take a shot there. It's not crazy active trading, so it might be a little bit sleepy relative to some of the other names that we are watching. To quickly jump back over to the cannabis space, ACB didn't actually, it very, very briefly went negative before bouncing off of $5 here on what was a bit of a volume spike. I mean, I don't know whether this is a dark pool print. I wasn't watching it at the time. It seems a little bit crazy. He did flush through $2 and through $5 after that spike down. Now finding a bit of a rebound trade in ACB off that 5. I'm not looking to take this one unless I can short it off of the highs at like 550, 560, or if it breaks out, I'd like to short it off of that $7 if it ever gets to maybe like next week. That's the kind of play. Thank you, Christopher Wren, for the super chat. And if I see 420, the animation, I don't have that one on my board, and I also can't tell you that Tesla's going to trade anywhere near it. But I can say, in regards to Tesla, trying to break out through this little high here, both pre-market and opening range, can't quite seem to do it, but it's worth noting the market is trending right to the upside, looking for a breakout. Tesla has that 440 level that it was testing a few times the last little bit here, so there is room to run if we can sustain this move on Tesla, but if it comes back in, have a look at 430 to 431. It might be a better entry price for a bit of a dip buy as long as the market remains strong. Tesla, if you did miss that out, down here on this little dip, I think there's another one possibly coming at 430, 431. I'll wait around for that one.
Oh, no. Oh, man. I thought the charts were fixed, so we don't go hallelujah anymore, guys. Right here, not fixed. They loaded up, but they're not giving me new data, so we'll have to find out what I'm doing wrong. But okay, we are long through 680, so now we're long 680. We got that price, so hopefully now 682. Nice little win here for us to the downside or to the upside. Daryl, we talked about that in the chat there. Where are you, Daryl? Let me see if I can find you there. What I did tell you was Gordon Gecko, yeah, manager sheep. Yeah, good quote there for sure. I don't know where I said it. What's up, Christopher Kren? Thank you so much for that. We will hit that 420. Here it is right here. Yes, Daryl, I agree, man. GE at 680 should be a good trade, so we do take that. Not huge amount of shares. Would rather go longer if we do break, and I'll show it to you right here, 690. But right now, decent trade. We'll see if we can take off 5-6 pennies and then wait 690 right up here, right where VWAP is. I do like that. You got to get rid of all this garbage, as I call it. But right now, we are long 680, looking pretty good for us here on that one. Oh, yeah. Oops, we did that one again. So no crying babies anymore. Look at Nio. 54s, bang, bang, bang. We'll tweet that out. So look, everything's been great for me today, man. The only thing we fell on was NXPI, and we had the winner. Should have took that one. Again, keystroke error, not getting out, but that's been good. And then GE initially was bad. Small long, average in, then crushed. And now we wait. We take another small long right now, put on real shares through 690. Brendan, give it.
Another one having quite the day here. Datadog, guys, 7.5%. Just broke 110 there on monster volume. Officially now, all-time highest today for Datadog, guys.
Another one making a run, and you're seeing a very, very strong market in the tech sector, at least to the upside. I mean, the ES is actually just fading off its highs, only 0.6, lagging the NASDAQ, which was a theme on the way up from March, and we're seeing a little bit of that today. I did see we got that super chat, of course, and thank you. But Brookfield, which was the question that was asked, look, it's a nice stock. It's not usually much of a day trade. It's on 90,000 shares. Solid company. Does a bit of a dividend. I think one of our friends works there, Sean, or used to work there at Brookfield. But if you look at this
friend of mine.
Ouch.
I'm playing.
I know. We're joking around, but in the pool, maybe not, because he's right in that middle section of teams that's trying to battle for the top. But
maybe you're in a football pool, fantasy football pool that's honestly
15
years old. I don't know, maybe more. Yeah.
But Brookfield here, 50 good support. They pay a solid dividend. It is on the way to this level here, which is if it ever got here as a day trade, it would get interesting because you get to that 58 level and you start thinking about some opportunities to fade it. It's more of a range-bound type of style trade, maybe for some swings. I don't see anything that's too sexy unless you're buying it off the 50 or waiting for a further dip. Again, it's an investment. That's not too bad. I see no day trade here at all. It hasn't cracked 100,000 shares, and that's relatively normal. Brookfield is not that type of a stock, but certainly nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I want to jump to one name, though, which is a little bit neglected, and we talk about this. If something is in play, maybe don't run too far away from it here. There was some news that I think it was Ryanair was talking about how the 737 MAX could get back in the air soon, and they were still going to take delivery when that does happen. Boeing, of course, sells off of that news, and probably was worth it to look for a bit of a dip buy here in Boeing. Now ignore this sort of a dark pool print. The actual bottom was right here around this 166. 167 area. And that's been like this chop zone for the last little bit. You can see yesterday, lots of consolidation around that price a couple of times, around some big moves. So when you're looking for dip buys, that's what you're considering. Now, Boeing wasn't on my radar in the morning, so of course I'm not going to catch it, but that's the kind of thing you want to be looking for if you look to buy a dip, if you think you're looking for a stock that you want to pick up on a swing, those kinds of ideas. And Boeing definitely gave you that opportunity here, down around 167. If it's on the watch list earlier in the week, keep it around, throw it on a quote board, do whatever you do with it. You might find a trade a day or two after that. Boeing might fall into the category here off that 170 flush.
Yeah, I see your quotes there about on the chat here about my softie is breaking through right now. So I will take another look at that one. Man, I hate that I don't hold these things for longer. We got to believe in you, Mr. Softy, and I should because you're my stock. So, and that's the one thing there. Sometimes you gotta believe in these names. But look at the NASDAQ, man. Heading into a Friday, I guess it wants to go. Watch out for it fading back through, though, guys, on a Friday. That could easily happen at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm pretty proud, not of the charts, but of GE right now. Up to 83, man. We're long at 80. We talked about that. Like, it's funny to talk about 2 or 3 cents, but again, you have to realize that the shares that you can trade on GE when it's done 77 million and you have this and we have direct market access. I didn't pay even to get into these shares. I actually removed liquidity and received a rebate to get into these trades. So 680 up to 83. I told you my first out will be 84. Then we'll wait to see some 88s, 89s. Might resist at 90. So my plan is to get everything out at before 90 and then re-engage in a long at that 90 level if that does come through. So good trade there. NEO, though, upside again, man, getting some out, just cleaning this stock up. Long at 54 above that VWAP. We did like that break. Thanks for bringing it to our attention down here. We waited patiently for that. Take the long, and that's cash now for us. And Neil, GameStop, I hit the cheer, but we'll hit the floss anyways. We are still long down here on GameStop, and it's right up here. Chart's not working after all, so we are going to watch out for this one. I'd hope to get some out at the high side if we can, but I still think this thing can go parabolic, so we'll hold on. We're still long GameStop, guys.
Yeah, I'm looking for I'm going to go back to that in just a second, but I'm going to go to Jinko here. I just got out on the north side of a 60-50 break, a fresh high now made, shy of 61. So I take the dollar winner off. Again, I fought the trend for a short. This is off a double top and yesterday's high as well. Reversed into the long position, which is making the money back here. And it's not that you always have to reverse at a level like that. I just think if it's a strong trend, if it's a big enough level, if the market's with me as well, lots of reasons why I'd reverse. A lot of times I won't. In this case, those are the reasons why we did. Talked about that at the time. If it breaks 61, that's when I'll consider a trail, but for now, let's just see how far it can go. Before we go to Brendan, just a quick second here, I want to show you GameStop just because you might not have been able to see on Sean's chart. I'm flat for the first time on GameStop, but it just broke that 14 and is holding higher. If it takes out to 50, I'll go long on a break. If it holds this 1350 area again, I'll buy that dip as well. I just want to find a way to be back into this in case there is that squeeze, or second squeeze, I should say. Brendan, what's up?
Just because it's Friday, Kodak, guys, just popped up on a volume scanner. Broke 9 there on a huge volume spike, ripping up 5% here. So just checking on Kodak, guys.
Of course Kodak's going.
Yeah, shout out to everybody with Hydration Nation. We've been a little bit distracted today, but Hydration Nation is still live and well there. Check this out. We're still like at the 9 a.m. level, so embarrassing for Trader Nation there. Okay, but this is not embarrassing. I see you, GE. We did take some out there, 83, as it was a little bouncy there. Boom! There it is, backflip time. We're not nearly making back as much as we lost, but we'll celebrate this. You can see the in here. Just pretend there's some nice little, I can draw some charts, some bars here if you want. In at 80, Daryl. I see you, Daryl. In at 80 there for me. Out at 83, 84. Let's wait. I told you that. Yes, let's see. Come on, G. Let's just keep going to the upside here. VWAP, if I could draw VWAP, it's probably, right around here right now. So VWAP will be about 86, 87. So, whoa, size alert. So we'll put some more size on here. There it goes, a size. No worry. Here it comes to the upside now. Going to try to break through 85. We'll get a little bit out there. I don't even know if we need to because it's ripping to the high side right now. GE picks up volume. Thank you for that call. GE 680. Glad some of you guys like that with me now. So 5 cents in the money on this one. And again, it's not like a huge trade, but look at GE today. Falls down. Now we're catching a nice little move backside there. So my next out's going to be right here at 85. Then we'll take some 87, some 88s, and some 89s, and then see what happens at 90. But yes, big trade. Been a roller coaster for me today. today, charts, etc. Now we got GE. Hopefully we got them by something.
And I feel back at home now. Kodak has made a move to the upside. The last couple times it got in this range here on pops up, it was 932, 930s, 935, into like 950 one time. So look, I'll give it to 950. I'm going to take a shot shorting Kodak almost every time it tries to slow down a parabolic move, but I'm not going to give it forever. I've seen what happens on a squeeze. We talked about the GameStop squeezing all morning long. Kodak could definitely do that, but I am going to take my shot shorting it in front of that 950. If it breaks, we get out. This one I'm not longing. I'll stick to GameStop when it comes to that. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
There's looks like some speculation surrounding ALXN, Alexion Pharmaceuticals, guys, up 1.3%. It's already come back quite a bit here from 129 down to 125, but volume came in there on some possible deal-making chatter, it looks like, for Alexion. So going to keep digging into this one, guys. ALXN.
Good look on ALXN. A couple of names I do see some chatter and some people talking a little bit about the airlines. Look, I think one of the things for me why I've stayed away from it is, firm news as to what's going on in terms of the bailout is likely to move it. And I kind of jokingly said this to, it might have been Brennan in the afternoon the other day, that it almost feels like if you just sat with a bracket order on American Airlines in the afternoon or any one of these airlines and then just waited for an opportunity for like a very quick move breaking out of whatever the lunchtime range is, there's always some kind of a rumor that happens that gives you a breakout trade. And if you're sitting in a position, you just get stopped out or you're lucky enough that you're in the right direction. So I'm going to back off until there's some kind of an obvious play for me in AAL. It did make a nice little double bottom off 13, but I mean, it fell. It's like a 30, 40 penny range on the day. The market's strong. There's lots of tech names to play to the upside. You got parabolic movers in GameStop, hopefully once again. And one that's happening right now, and that's going to be in Kodak. And like I said, this has done this in the past. I just looked at the first level I could find, and that was like a 950 area and a 930s and then 950. So that you'll see that's basically what I'll do is I'll take some shares in front of the first one. I'll take some shares in front of the second one. Give myself a reasonable price at 35s. If it breaks 50s, I'm losing 15 cents plus slippage. If it comes back in, reasonable that it comes back down to 9, so the risk reward makes sense to me. But I'm not going to hold it past that top. Things could get hairy on Kodak if it breaks that. I've seen it in the past. There haven't been any halts yet. If 950 breaks, could be in the midst of one to that upside. I'm still looking for a pullback in GameStop. That hasn't happened just yet. Still holding that 14 mark. When it gets going one more time, I'll probably get back into that party.
All right, guys, I come back and I am supporting the mask here today. So this is my alma mater, Wilfrid Laurier University. There it is. Supporting the mask. Got to keep it on at all times here around there. But good job. Thank you, Laurier. Great job. Look, I was interviewed on Benzinga last week, and then we also have our trader journey. So if you want to find out about that, I went to business school down there at Wilfrid Laurier University and then grew up on a prop firm, so right here on the floor. So check that out, Benzinga, and our own, of course. Hello, GE. We sit back down. We don't even realize this. 689. This is what we're talking about. It's backflip nation time right here. And yeah, 689 to the high side. Okay, we're long at 680. And Daryl, where are you, my man? This is what we talk about. Bang, right there. Big time right now here for GE. So great trade, man. We went long at 680. We believed in that trade. We talked about it all the time. There you are, Daryl. I see you in the chat, my man. There it is. GE, baby. Yeah, it's nice to get some credit on that from you guys on the chat. I know you saw that. You saw me hammer for you guys. GE today and Softy. Those are two stocks. And again, when we talk about these names, I've given you these targets and we put the shares on and we go. I can't lie again to take one of Neil's lines. GE, we didn't put on full risk there at 680. We should have. We were waiting for 690 right now, but I got to tell you something, Daryl. The way this moved up there took its time. Now, big move to 680, 690. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. It's now above the VWAP. 690 may be questionable, but I'm going to celebrate this trade. We'll put on some more at 690, but GE, a nice little 9-cent win here. Beautiful trade, beautiful movement on that one. Super happy with the movement. Neil, we cleaned up that one as well. Out. We now hold our last 10%. I told you that. That's what we were going to do. Watch out for VWAP break at 2150, but let's get out some more GE here.
it's a long kind of a day. That means the Kodak short's going to blow out there. I did take a very quick scalp on the long, well, a couple of scalps on the long, one that worked and one that did not. So going to be flat on the long trade, losing on the short trade there in Kodak. And it just feels like sometimes I'll be all over the shorts and they're going to work out for me. Today, it really does feel like the longs are going to be better. And as I look over Fastly over here, just broke back to 126, but that's not the one I want to go to. My stop is trailing at 126. It's Jinko Solar, and that's 61. Starting to turn into a little bit stronger of a resistance point as we get closer. It got literally to 60.99. And it's not that there's, like a tremendous seller or anything. There's no size there on level 2. And there hasn't been on the way up. But it's still grinding into this price level. If it breaks 61, at that point, I'll use that momentum to determine trailing stop. And I'm likely to put it to break even if it does break 61 even. And then from there, we can start thinking about how far it's going to go in terms of running into any resistance. It's lunchtime. Breakouts aren't going to move necessarily as far as they might if this had been off the open. You can see what the stock did at the open. I tried shorting that double top. I fought the law and the law won. Then we joined the party to the long side. It's in the money now, and it's about like $1.25 or so, but I'm looking for more than that to the upside. If it can break 61, I think we're going to get it. GameStop did pull back in. It didn't quite get anywhere close to where I would like to see consolidation, right around this area, like 50 to 60s, where you could get some long trades off of maybe like a 25 to 30 level. But I am still watching this stock, and I do want to get back into the long. Been long almost all morning long, and it's been like 30 minutes or so, getting a little bit antsy, but I don't want to force it. I don't want to buy it at 14s. I'd rather be picking it up at 13.50, 13.60, where it's not as much room to where my out would be.
Okay, I just want to show these sales conditions here. I'll get rid of those. I'm sending this over to our IT team. Maybe I'm missing something on something, so we'll see here if that's right. But yeah, we were just looking here at GameStop. It does make that move upside. Like I said, the charts unfortunately stopped working at 11:02 when I logged back in. Yeah, we should have got out up there. I know it went to 14, 20, or 30 there. We should have got out, and I guess it's not going to go parabolic. But we're holding, again, that small little 10% off of these bottoms. We got most of them out here as it does break VWAP 13, 13, 13, and out again 13, 20, our best outs upside, and then we get on that below through 14. We don't get anything more on that name. GE, okay, it's right at 90, and again, whatever, man, we'll just give a falling money on this one because we gave you this trade. We talked all about it, and there we go. Daryl, yeah, you're taking the rest out. Good trade there, Daryl, and I'm glad you had that. So taking the rest out, 90s, 93. Daryl, of course, one of our guests, traders of the day. We're getting ready for another one. I believe it's a big fan of the show coming up, so we won't tell you exactly who until he comes through, but that's coming up very, very soon. Neo comes back to the downside. We get out on that breakthrough 50. Irregardless, man, Neo was money. Let's roll it, man. Nice trade on Neo out there. Look, man, when we're getting out for a 6-cent hit, but taking 12 and 15 on the high side, leaving our 10%. That's what we do, just in case it goes higher. Sometimes I gotta do that, sometimes I don't. You see what happens on Microsoft, blowing upside. Doesn't happen on Neo. Well worth the risk for me. What up, B?
Nicola, another one in that group. Just noticed back at a decent level here, 25, ended up being a little pivot in the afternoon. We broke that initially, but looking like a bit of a problem. Also struggling so far today. Nicola, guys.
And two things. One, Fastly might roll over here, guys. So that trail could take us back out just below break even. I mean, it's going to be a losing trade in that last little bit. But I'm going to go back to Genmark, which I tried a bottom pick bounce, and I told you guys I gave it to like 14 even instead of to the actual fresh low of the day. It was just a little wick down. It broke the even dollar. Literally didn't make any kind of an offer below it, so it didn't hold up. It snapped right back. That's what I was playing off of. If I give it to the bottom, that 1389. Still would be in the long position, and it's still consolidating. Now, it broke my parameters there, and it's still not able to get far past VWAP, failing twice. So I don't actually like the long, but it's just the idea of like a small change like that, giving an extra 10 cents, and then you're still in a long. Maybe you still like it, maybe you don't. That's what I'm going to be revisiting when I look at that type of a setup. Sort of arbitrary, whether you actually pick the bottom of the day or what you think is going to be psychological support level. I went with the latter. It did not work for me. I'm going to have to make sure I track that to see how it plays out if I went the other way. Speaking of going the other way, JE is going the other way from the market right now. It's pulling back in. It was this level that I took both a breakout in 725, both a breakout and then a reload. Mixed results. That's why, basically flat on the stock. It goes, goes up, makes some, goes down, lose basically the same thing. So could have been a great one if I hang on to it, but it wasn't, guys. This is the key level here now. You're likely to see some consolidation. I think it's obviously going to be a short break for me if it breaks 7. That's the type of play where I might be trying to sit into it for retracement all the way back to where it was in the pre-market. But if it breaks out from here, which I've seen happen like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon from a sideways trade at lunch, I would grab a long trade, but probably only at like 750 or so. I wouldn't chase it too far. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Rocket Mortgage, guys. There was an upgrade on from JP Morgan on RKT today. It's been sitting here at 23 most of the morning, but trying to pop here, just popping up on a relative volume scanner here for the last couple of minutes. So 23, definite level there, still up 1.5% for Rocket, guys.
Yeah, we looked at Rocket early, and I was wondering what that move was all about, to be honest with you. But hold on a second, I got to get out of. I'm in Luck and Coffee here. We'll put a little bit. Oh no, maybe I don't want to get out. We'll put a little bid there on Luck and Coffee. Oh man, I just canceled the bid. Let's call this up here. This is what look at the spread. You never know where these fills are coming in. I'm short 15 right now on Luckin and just waiting for some 13s. I don't know. We'll wait to see if that comes through or not. But yeah, Rocket Mortgage next trade up. RKT, there it is. Rocket Mortgage, of course, on the NYSE, a relatively recent listing here. No idea what this news is, so we will have to wait to see on that one. Rocket Mortgage right now. Now it's up 1.5%. Okay, it was up a hell of a lot more before, but yeah, some nice volume coming through. VWAP 23 and change. Again, interesting name here. Let's find out if it wants to break through 23 one more time. I'd rather play the bottom side on this. Let's take a quick look at the daily chart just to give you guys, this is what I mean, pretty new stock. 24 and change. Good breakout, man. Okay. Possible long-term investment here. And by long-term, maybe a month or two. Breaking through 25. If we can get that on Rocket, that's a setup that I like right there, guys.
Sorry, if you capture squint, I'm like, wondering, what is that line on the... Oh, I think, never mind. It just occurred to me what that line was on your chart. It makes a lot of sense to me.
All right.
I want to go back over to Fastly here for a quick second. I did actually... It bounced, and look, it actually thought like it was going to trail out, so I looked at this double bottom. I mean, if it's going to test here and give a bit of a bounce, there's no way I'm not going to jump back in. Now, I've already scalped some out. I was hanging on for a bigger move, hopefully to and through 130. If it's going to give me this play, what I'm going to do is get back in like I just did and then get like a dollar scalp again. So I'll do the same scalp trade on the initial breakout while still holding that core position for the long. If it does break 130, I want to have shares on board. That's been the plan the entire way. So Fastly, as usual, showing its strength. You can miss out on like a $7 to $10 move to the upside. There might be a secondary push in a name if it's strong enough. Fastly feels like it's fitting the bill here. So back into some shares there. Not into any more, unfortunately, of GameStop. It just does not want to give me the price that I'm looking for. But Jinko, I can go back over that one again, but it's just not necessarily moving that much. What is moving, however, is Kodak. Kodak comes all the way back in. I had the short that we lost on, reversed to the long, took a small win and a loss. It comes right back to 930 before bouncing again. It's about to take out fresh highs. I'm going to stay away from Kodak. Maybe it'll make sense to me in the afternoon. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
I pointed this one out during the sector watch, guys. 5.5% now for eBay. There was a couple of upgrades on this one today. Just kind of like this move is amazing. Just grinding higher all morning long. We're sitting here at 55 now. About to take out 55 for eBay, guys.
I mean, always great when you see a chart that has basically no red candles, and I'm sitting here not even looking at it. But good job on eBay there. Thanks for that, bringing that up to our attention, Brendan. GE there, we just got some out at 89, so now it's going to break through 90. We've already talked about that. That's a feather in our cap. That's a backflip right there. So hopefully most of you will have that one, and we'll watch and see what happens. We'll take a small trade through 91, and then I agree with Daryl. If we can get 94s, 95s on that trade, then that would be great. But again, we're here to trade, so we will take that if it does go. Microsoft, again, lots of credit for that one as well on the chat, and thank you to everybody. I hope some of you are still long this name. We did get out in the 60s, not obviously great, as NASDAQ now making new highs, so watch out. We're close to new highs anyways, so watch out here. Here goes Microsoft. Again, great news for GameStop, obviously, yesterday. I guess the investors are liking what Microsoft did there. with them. Again, we're still waiting on that. We'll see. GameStop, we're long at 1250. It's back to this level. So 1450, I don't know. The high was 1455. My quotes are fine. The charts are not, but 1455 here. We'll see if it takes that out. If it does, man, parabolic time could happen again. Up to 15, up to 16. My target is just a lot higher than this. So I don't really have a target. Let's just wait. I mean, if I didn't take out $2, will I take out 3? Let's wait. I hope I get that opportunity of GameStop to break 1455. That's the next spot. If it gets up there and doesn't and fades back in, then yeah, we'll probably get out at quarters. So we'll give it one more chance. GameStop up to 1455. But for right now, guys, it's a winker on. Does that make sense? A winker? That doesn't sound good. Not wanker. It's a winker. Up to 1450 now. We'll wait to see here if it goes higher. Give that one some breathing room, but $1.70 in the money right now on this name.
I'm not sure that the graphic even winked when you did it, but Fastly continues to roll to the upside. We'll line this one up and knock it out because the only way that I hit strikes, it's not on a real bowling alley because I stink. Sometimes we'll hit them in the markets, guys. 126 holds. I talked about the scalp trade. I'll take some out when it gets to 127. The bingo bango, that's pretty easy to follow there. I still want to hang on to a further move to the upside. Now, I said this like maybe an hour ago that if I caught that fly, hopefully we get to 2,000 likes. I haven't seen it since, so maybe, just maybe, that the fly was so afraid of my fly catching prowess with my bare hands that it ran away. And if you like that, get us to that 2K because Valeria has that pout that you see every now and then when she doesn't get that 1500 graphic, when we don't see her in the astronaut suit dancing it off there. See the pout. Valeria is not happy, people. Get us to 2,000 likes because it's all about having a fun Friday, of course. It's a great one in the markets, but there's more to it, guys. We like having fun around here. Let's get Valeria to have a smile on that face. But Brendan's got a little bit of news for us, so let's go to the desk.
Overall market kind of grinding higher here, guys. Here's another one. Natura, 2% to the upside. NTCO just broke that 1710 area. Was a problem earlier, so let's see if we can hold above it now. There was an offering announced this morning and also executed this morning. You can see the big volume spike at the open there. So NTCO having quite the day, guys.
All right, we're just going to get out here, if I can, out of GE 87, 88. It's a monster win. It looks like we just basically picked that one perfectly, I would say. Pretty close anyways to that. Getting out, okay, I'll put GE up. You can see where the outs were 90s, 89s, and 90s. Celebrated some 84s, some 85s, then out the rest there. Now we'll wait to get out some 87s, and then we picked 90 as the top. So I think that we actually nailed that one perfectly for you. So really glad for the way GE traded here. Good trade. We'll see if we exit that one. GameStop, we're still waiting. I don't have much else, man. JP Morgan, I saw what you said, Marlon. JP Morgan, Microsoft, and GameStop paid your rent. Good job there. This was a good one. Neil brought this to our attention when it was down here at 100. Not sure if he went long or not, but that was a good trade down to 100. Nope. Look, again, regardless of the setup here, we didn't even look at a chart. They're just playing off the psychological levels, right? You got to remember to do that. If the quote comes down to 100, there could be some psychological buys there or sells. So that's a good spot to load in.
Don, it's worse than that, man.
Okay, what's up?
Because it's like you can actually look at this. I got the 15-minute up here, and you just look at yesterday's bottom as well, and then you see exactly where it ramped up. Pre-market low. It dipped in, failed break of 100 yesterday, and then ran to 102. Breakdown doesn't break 100, but the same type of whip action or wick action, and then slamming back up. So I mean. Now, I've shown you guys this sort of look a couple of times here, and this is literally the one time that I haven't played this dip buy all week, and it was here on JPM, and there you go. It's $1 in the money. I don't have it. But Brendan's got something for us. What's up?
Yeah, there was actually a IPO. Just reading about iHuman Incorporated this morning. This is a Chinese-based online education company. So these are ADSs. That were just opened on the NYSE. $12 was the listing price. It opened actually 12. My chart is not working. 12.12 I think was the actual opening price, but we're up to 13 here. So not a heck of a lot of volume, but might be worth a look, guys. IH in New York.
Yeah, and it was. You say 80 million or something like that. So it's not. So yeah, it's tiny, and I think we talked about this, and oddly enough. We did at least one, maybe two, correct me if I'm wrong, videos discussing IPOs, one on more on the trading side, the other one on like what do we look for, just some mechanics around them. And one of the things that we talked about, and all of us sort of agree on this, is you have to have some kind of a litmus test for whether you're going to be interested in an IPO or not. And for most of us, it's going to be what's the actual size. So this was a small one. Obviously, if you literally took the opening print, you're basically getting $1 right off the bat. If you hang on to it, it's about $2 off the open here. But again, it just didn't fit my parameters. I wish we had been sort of bullish and all over this one. Could have been as good as some of the other ones we've looked at where you get these types of moves when we are involved. Unfortunately, this was not on the radar. I don't know whether the exuberance in some of these recent IPOs and direct listings is a reason to widen that range of what we like in terms of how big or how small they might have to be for us to trade them. Either way, there would have been a winner on IH, but that's the reason I didn't have it, because it was just too small. It just wasn't that big.
Yeah, I just called it up as well. I didn't even realize that was happening. So, yeah, good call on that one. That's why Brendan's here and Neil and everybody. That's part of trading with a team, right? If you like trading with a team and with us, smash that like. I mean, I feel like we say that all the time, but until we get more, we need to get that 2,000. We're trying to get in there, get as many likes as we possibly can. Like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, that's the first thing. Then look, a like is, we're doing the show for free. Just clicking that little thumbs up, also for free. Please, guys, please do that if you can. Give us some likes. Let us know what you're feeling about the show. So I put a very small position, 25% of what I'm willing to invest in Palantir the other day at 10.10. We did talk about that. Now Palantir coming to the downside. The reason why I'm bringing it up right now is we just did crack through 10. We cracked early and we only went down as low as 988. So watch out for this one. Again, a recent IPO. Y'all know this. This was a huge trade, man. We crushed it on this IPO, as I know a lot of you did too. It opened at 10 and just ran up. So that was a fantastic day for IPO there. There's the $10 mark right there on your chart. You see bouncing around. So for today, the plan of action, we open up high and come right back down. So very similar to the way that GE trade set up, where we absolutely destroyed. You want to look at that one right here on PLTR, getting through all of this garbage. 10.03 would be a good long spot for me there on Palantir. I do like that call.
Getting a lot of love for that pan shot, and I'm gonna our production crew. You don't always see them on there, but both Rob and Lucas doing a fantastic job. Sometimes you see Randy, Rob, some other names that you might hear thrown around, but literally they got a camera up here, guys, that they can control on their phone, which is pretty cool. You think we have like a good setup and everything? Check out the setup these guys are rolling with, and like I wish I had something I could control like remotely with my phone. I would be messing around all the time, but look. Everyone puts a lot of effort into this so you can see the production quality. I'm not sure we say it enough, how much work these guys put in to make us look good. I'm not a professional, on-air professional. Obviously, you guys can tell that. But see, there it is. This is a robot action. There's no one behind that camera. It's just literally panning on its own. A couple of things I want to jump back to because Jinko Solar. Jinko. Of course, as Fastly gives me the dip buy that I can scalp out for a winner, it means I can't win on both. And I'm not going to get the home run trade on Jinko. It gets back to break even, so you can see me take it out here. It was a nice trade in 61. It reversed off 61, so unfortunately we only get the $1 win, and then we break even on the last third of the position.
GameStop's going again right here.
GameStop going again. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
Just going to talk about Vivo Power, actually. VVPR also popping up on a volume scanner here. Just broke through 16, which we're back to this level from earlier for VVPR. Again, this was the one that's getting into the EV space, guys.
Okay, so we talked about GameStop there. Chart's fixed right now temporarily. So here goes. We're going to wait to see if this one can't fill itself back in. Here's GameStop. We're long here, long. Now we're ripping to the top, high side. We have 55s in our sights, man. It breaks that. I'm actually not even going to get out. I'm going to go longer. So we're going to go long again here on GameStop. We don't have a huge position right now, so we'll go in another bit now. It's going to be the same position that we have. We'll just double our position size, go long right now at 14.55. And like I said, if that breaks, then we're getting out right here. 14.20. So there it is. So we go long again. If it doesn't want to go up now, we'll get out 14.20 back on the downside. Let's see what this wants to do. Here goes GameStop again.
Yeah, I mean, I just took that break. I got 57s, and the way I want to play this is I actually want to take a crack to buy in front of 2025 if it dips in, and then maybe give it just a little bit past that same range. I've seen it shake out before, and I've been shaken out many times here. We're anticipating a parabolic move, and it's not throwing money away because you're up on a stock. It's really just that, if I look at the daily, we talked about if it ever chewed through those highs, there is nothing till what was like a triple, quadruple top level. It's like 17, 25. So that's the reason for the conviction, guys. That and 100% short interest. I mean, it's not often that you see that. and then you get positive news with the Microsoft partnership there or deal. So let's see if we can't go parabolic on the GameStop. It's already been good. We all thought that there could be a bigger move in it. It hasn't happened just yet, but this could be it.
Yeah, well, we're waiting right now. So we just went long again upside. I gave you where my out is. Nice little win, man. We're in the money here off this trade, $2. And now we're flat on this one, obviously. Goes to 66, 67 there. No real looks for GameStop high side. You can look at the daily chart, man. It looks pretty brutal down here. Left for dead back in April, March, as most stocks were. You can see the high side. GameStop did have some stop and goes up here. 16, 17 before this move. And then you saw the move all the way down. So there is some action up here, $16. So watch out if we get that high. I don't know if that's going to come through yet. We're still battling around through 1460. My position right now shows long 1355. That is where we're long. So we just did take an extra little spot there. We're going to get out if it does break back down below 1420. Could be a mistake, but that's going to be my out. Got to stay disciplined. Only 20 minutes to go here. What's been a big day for me so far, guys? Microsoft. That's a nice little dollar in the money if you still have that one. NIO. Good trade on NEO to the upside there. The only trade that we really messed up today was NXPI. We talked about that. We had this early off our watch list. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm going to show it one more time if you're just joining us for the first time. Hit the like. That's the first thing. There goes GameStop too, so hopefully that keeps going up. Trader TV Live, morning movers. I wonder, Brendan, you could tell me, maybe that should be capitalized. I don't know. The double M's there. But here it is, GameStop on watch, right? So if you didn't know that, this was $11 earlier this morning, so you can got that. GE, we talked about that. Clean Energy, AMD, all the names on there. Watchlist.tradertv.live. Make sure you catch that one and you can get going. Oh, DraftKings, Neil.
Grammar police over there. Like,
what happened?
No, I'm just joking about the M capital. Of course, the M should be capitalized, but I mean, that's not the end of the world.
I mean, that's not.
I don't think you're complaining about the fact that the M's not capitalized. If you're looking at GameStop there, I literally went into a big speech about why I wasn't interested in IH, that IPO today, and we talked about how it was literally just up like a couple of bucks or almost $2. Yeah, it just made another move to the upside. This stock just keeps grinding higher. I know not much about it because I didn't do my diligence because it was too small. Like I said, is there an adjustment that needs to be made in that? I don't know, but this one continues to run. It's now up 20% from the open at 12 even. So yet another one to the upside. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
For the record, I have no control over said title of Morning Movers watch list, so that is automated for us. But we'll have to make that better. DADA, Robbie's favorite stock here in production. Up 10%, guys. Huge volume spike just broke this. 29 up to 30, all in one shot there for Robbie's favorite, Dada.
Okay, GameStop's starting to go, guys, right now. So we'll look at Dada in a minute for all y'all. But here goes GameStop, a big time win, man. We are back. It's a spicy meatball. I'm gonna hit this. It's gonna be milk again. No, this time it's spicy meatball. So good job there. Fixed that. Last time it was spilt milk. So we'll watch that. Oh, I wanted to get over to DraftKings. We talked about that real quick. Yeah, sorry about this one, guys. This just keeps on coming down. So you're gonna have to wait. That offering was obviously not well received. It was the first time, not the second time. So $52, you see this gap down. I think you're coming right to support, like I mentioned. Not a bad spot right here. If you haven't got in, I mentioned to someone yesterday on Twitter, asked me, hey, what about DraftKings? I said, maybe pick some up today. If you haven't done that, this is not a horrible spot to do so. Next spot would be right here, 43, 44. I mean, DraftKings is not going to go, I don't know, I can't predict bankruptcy or negative impact there, but I just feel like, especially if the Democrats do get in, DraftKings could be something that explodes a little bit, just like the marijuana space, due to the fact that legislation may come off. And I know it's stateside, but right now you have Jersey, you have a couple different states that are welcoming gambling. So it's a big tax revenue spot. Just seems like it might be right for the Democrats there. So we'll wait to see. DraftKings could get going. I like the play. I may average into my long here right now, but I like it. DraftKings right now for a day trade though, unless you're going short, take it at 49. I wouldn't go long into this. I wouldn't look for a long. Right now it's broken. You got to wait for on this one, guys.
So I saw a question on there, and yes, we've talked about this with GameStop. The short interest, and obviously we have access. Brendan's got he's got an Icon terminal. It gives you market data and statistics on all of these companies. So we can go that route, of course. That's the easy way for us to get it accurately. If you don't have that type of resource, there are plenty on the web. I happen to have up shortsqueeze.com. It's the first thing that comes to mind for me. So you can check that site out if you really want to. You just type in a symbol and then you can find the information there. There have been times, I'm just gonna throw it out, there have been times when I've seen a difference between this and what we'll see over on our Icon terminal. I'm gonna go with Icon in those situations. That's just the way it's gonna be. That's our resource. But I hope that helps you out. There are plenty of other places you can check online for that. Just Google around. But those are two that you can do. Either we'll tell it to you. And it's an important question you can ask anytime, guys. If you're live in the chat and you're watching the show and we're trading a parabolic mover up or we're looking to short something that might be squeezing, throw in the chat, hey, what's the short interest on this? I don't know what it is. We'll have it to you in a couple of seconds here because we can do that.
Yeah, GE691, I see you there, Daryl, or Sean, Daryl. Everybody there, good call on GE for sure. 691, so did I get in? No, what, I didn't get in yet? Okay, it must have not broke, or did my order not get through there? No, my order did not trigger. Oh, man, today I'm going to figure this out. 691, great trade, man. We triggered that one. Bang! Hopefully you guys had that. I don't know what happened. You guys know I was trying to go long through 690 there as well. I don't know, order not triggered there, but good call. We put that feather in our cap, guys. Look at this, from 680 downside. Bang, really proud of that for you guys. Look at Softy, man. We had enough of you, Softy. Breaking through 214 again on the backside. We take it, and there it is. Bang, another 30-cent win here on Mr. Softy. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Don't know what else to tell you. There's another 30 cents for you, Mr. Wickens.
MSNBC guys reporting that apparently Pelosi and Mnuchin will hold talks about possible relief, COVID-19 relief, today on Friday. So just watching some of the airlines here. UAL just popped up. The rest of them starting to go as well, guys.
What a surprise.
Algo Group, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, man, like that whole just literally have bracket order at all times on American Airlines once it gets past 11 o'clock. Because that's probably the best way. You're not catching this headline unless you already know. Or if you have a stop through like the break of that 13.15, that would be a fun one to automate. AAL's breaking up like right through the pre-market top here. At some point, I got to think about if there's no actual confirmation on anything firm, where would you fade it? Two places, 13.44. That's in front of 13.50. 13.60 to 13.70 would be the higher end range. That's from yesterday's high. So a couple of plays you can make there. I have to quickly go back over to JE. I told you guys I had not shorted it all day long. I was looking at maybe a dip by around 6. PIMCO getting involved here, disclosing their stake. But I did take the short on the 7 even break. And we talked about this range. If it broke down, I would take a first shot at shorting it. Mixed result to the long. I played it terribly, guys. It was a good break. But I did not hang on to the reload. I took the scalp trade. I tried to dip buy. My stop failed me, or at least I failed myself in terms of where I put the stop, only to see it run up $1. It's going to happen to you guys, but you always revisit. What were the reasons why I had my stop there? Should I have gone with an area stop instead of a hard stop? So that's what you want to talk about. Now I'm into the short trade. I'll give it back to around the 725, 730 area. Just want to see if it can break the quarters, 3 quarters, this level here, then down towards that 650. I'd be looking to buy if it starts to get to that 6 to 630 range on JE. Maybe I should have taken more GameStop out there on the break upside because that just came back in a little bit. It just feels like every move just runs into some resistance here. This at 1480 randomly for reasons I don't really understand. No significance to that price, but it's in the top end of this range. It hasn't run out of the money yet. But if it can't break out here, you just have to watch out because that kind of a tight consolidation could still be a failed break. If it breaks down, you're likely to get a retracement of like 30 cents or so. So if you don't want to risk 30 cents, you can always get out of the long and wait for 80 to break. Not a horrible idea at lunchtime when you're trying to preserve profits on a name like GameStop.
All right, guys, money bags coming through again. There's Softy, another win. So now in your not all-time highs, in your all-day highs. Day highs right now on Microsoft as we take the long here through 213, long here through 214. Watch out to the upside there. Nice little news there from Brendan. If it gets confirmed, the stimulus package, hells to the Microsoft making moves, man. Microsoft makes money moves. So upside, man, 214.60. Marlon, if you still had that, maybe you're not paying rent for this month. Maybe you're paying rent for the year on some of these Microsoft calls. So in there, 213, out. Nice profit, 67 27 cents there on the high side. We go in again, and welcome to yet again just another cash cow play here for Mr. Softy, making moves to the upside here. 214 break. Boom, boom. Escalating now, higher, higher, higher. Let's see what we want to do now, Mr. Softy. And let's get going, GameStop. It's your birthday. You know that. Let's see how high we can go up on that one. Neil just talked about that. High side of 1480. I still think we break that, man. Let's get going on GameStop. But hells to the yeah. 10 minutes to go, and we are here, man. Look at that. 65 cents now in the money on Microsoft. Let's get this one going upside. Just keeps on traveling. Let's go, Microsoft. We'll put this on Twitter, at TraderTV Sean. Follow me. We'll get the picks. Follow all of us on there for all these plays, guys. Big move on Softy.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and trail that that GameStop just so I don't have to think about it too much. I want to get out of it if it breaks down below 50. And what in the actual... And as I said that, and I said the word 50 on the level 2 here, it just chewed through an order, which was insane. And again, if you can have all the stop you want on something like this, but look what just happened. There was it was like 300,000 maybe share order at 1450. Before I could even get to it to manually get out of the trade, it had broken, my stop triggered. So this was kind of why I wanted to have a trail in there in the first place. But when it blows through an order like that, it was literally faster than I could react. First big down move, I think, in GameStop. I don't think that means it's broken in terms of the long trade, but I'll at least start thinking about it. When can I short this name? With the short interest, you also have a stop for every single level. If I touch it to the short side, anywhere around here, 1480 would be an obvious out and a reversal long. Brendan, what's up?
Just a heads up, Reuters, guys, Kudlow saying that Trump has approved a revised stimulus package. That's on the screen there. You can see it. So according to Larry Kudlow, Trump has approved a revised stimulus package, guys.
Attaboy, guys. Get that done. Get that done. Okay. Yeah, Microsoft. There it is, man. We're going to tweet this out right now. You can follow us. Look, I mean, great out right there on Softy. We got, I mean, I don't know if it's great, but it's great for me. 65 cents there. It could keep running, and that's fine. But right now, we do like this trade as the market just keeps on going higher. Now pulling back. Okay, now pulling back. What was that? Maybe not done. We'll wait to see here. Just because Trump approved something doesn't really mean that is going to be the case. I guess it still has to get by Congress. Well, Congress wouldn't be a problem, but I guess Senate might be. I think there's still more news to come. You saw what happened when Trump said no more. Like, oh man, it's so maddening. We don't want to talk politics, but Neil, 2 days ago, he tweeted out he's not doing a deal until after the election. 2 days later, deal time. Has the election happened?
Last I checked, no. But I mean, look, obviously, let's talk about it. It's going to be good news. Like that's just the reality. No one's going to be complaining if a deal gets done. You saw the Fed come out in their beige book across the board, basically saying that fiscal stimulus was going to be needed. So the fact that it could be coming, I was literally about to say that I wanted to find a dip buy in American Airlines here, and it was going to be it was going to be around like 13.20 anyways. So it just turns around off 25, headed back towards the highs. If it's going to be a done deal or potential that there might be one, I'm no longer going to be fading it. I think the shot to fade it had to be on the first move to the upside. I don't want the second touch at that top. I would have taken something in the 20 to 25 range. Did miss out on that, but you have to have a level when you're buying on a pullback like that. That was mine. I'm not into any GameStop shorts, but after what I just saw in terms of that level breakdown on volume, I will look to see what happens off this 1480. If it tries to get back up here and rolls over hard again, I will jump into a short off 1480. I'm going long no matter what if 1480 breaks on GameStop and holding for a hopeful halt to the upside. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, so more comments coming from Kudlow, guys. Larry Kudlow now saying that the revised deal will include money for small businesses, PPP extensions included in the Trump package, as well as direct checks and airline stimulus. Guys, there you go.
That's the last one you want to do.
Airline stimulus. Yeah, big. I mean, that's great for everybody. Airlines, Neil. We always go to AAL. I don't know why. I mean, I traded AAL the other day and actually crushed it. So yeah, maybe that's why. AAL making that move. There it is, Brendan and Neil from 13 up to 1340. So we'll wait to see. I mean, no idea what the size, I guess, of the package will be, but we will find that out very shortly. And it's nice. It's really nice also to be a perma bull, which I am. So I was telling you guys, load up some of these positions into your account. JP Morgan might be going the other way. Let's just check this out. Sometimes stimulus not great for banks, but no, all the way up. Nice little long from 100. I gave JP Morgan to all the viewers 2 weeks ago at 94, as well as Apple, which we obviously missed through 116. No, it's right here still. Okay, Apple not really going today. Surprisingly, Microsoft way more aggressive than Apple. So if this talk does fade down or rumor not true, let's go short Apple. Only 5 minutes left in the day, but Apple not treating it properly here. I thought it would have been a ripper on that kind of news, but now it's slowed down. 106 was the call on Apple to put into your long-term call.
Good look there, Daryl. Yeah, it's like sometimes the Spirit has been a fantastic one for the airlines. They're safe. But look, this IH, wowzers, man. Like it just hit 1550. This thing continues to run to the upside. So definitely going to check out some of the smaller IPOs. At least it doesn't mean you got to trade them, but certainly worth a look at times. As this one continued to go parabolic, a $12 open, and you've already seen a $3 move to the upside. I didn't see this one coming, and the volumes crossed 2 million. Crazy price action. Only 4 minutes to go.
What?
I can smell lunch. I don't know what it is, but definitely it's caught my nose. I believe we have Brendan. No, we don't. I thought I heard Brendan in the ear. I guess I didn't. I'm hearing things because I'm hungry at lunchtime here, guys. But you know what hasn't happened? I haven't seen a 2K graphic. I don't know how you're not enjoying today's show. GameStop has been an absolute runner. Brendan literally has been on point. He always is. I mean, it is what it is. But he's been on point, getting you guys real-time news, breakouts. I mean, you had the move in Kodak that was fantastic there. We just got real-time of the update when it comes to the deal. So if you're not enjoying this, I don't know what to say. Chicken and mushroom sauce, because of course it's chicken or salmon every single day. Now we've got Brendan, now that I'm sad about lunch.
I just wanted to confirm, guys, there's nothing in the way of earnings, obviously Friday or Monday, but getting into next week, there are some big ones coming. Delta, JP Morgan, Citigroup, J&J, Fastenal, the list goes on and on. That's this Tuesday on next week. We're going to be into the thick of it for earnings, but nothing, as I mentioned, for tonight or Monday. So once we get to Tuesday, though, it'll get a little bit exciting, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, no earnings today, and a few NXPI. We talked about that, a few, and very exciting. So yeah, join us, man. We're going to be back here all next week. It is Canadian Thanksgiving, so I do want to give before we wrap it up a happy Thanksgiving and well wishes to everybody out there. Obviously, stay safe. Follow the rules if you can. That's the most important right here. And, we will be back next week. Everybody in Canada, eat lots of pumpkin pie. You don't get to have that too often, but we like that here. It's a good one. The wife already has this craziest apple pie I've ever seen. She baked that. Follow on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll show you those pictures later. What's up, B?
Thank you, Sean, and hey guys, thank you for spending this trading week with us. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash the like button if you haven't yet. We need just 300 more likes to reach the daily likes goal. Guys, go watch our next educational video, and Neil, I hope it's gonna make you hungry also. Happy National Moldy Cheese Day.
What?
Neil.
Oh, moldy cheese. Yeah, okay, the thing is about that, sure, Valeria's laughing, but those of you that know proper cheese, I mean, look, wine, cheese, a little bit of cracker there, I'm down with that moldy cheese. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, man, like my favorite, sometimes the best dessert after a good meal is not dessert. It's a nice charcuterie plate. And you know what? If that means that I'm being hoity-toity, whatever it is, I don't care because it's delicious. I'll take it. I like wine and cheese. I'm gonna go with that one. And yes, I am hungry. It doesn't matter that it's chicken or salmon. It seems like that's what we're gonna have to get every single day. Today's gonna be chicken. I just wanted to show very quickly here, Spirit Airlines. Shout out to one of our longtime members. Another airline that you can play, sometimes a better mover, holding up just as well as American. Unfortunately, it is that time of day. It's almost 12, and it's the end of the week as well, so we don't get to trade tomorrow. We don't get to see you guys tomorrow. So it's been a fun one all morning long. I do have to go one more time and show you not my ugly mug, but Sean, or not Sean, Brendan.
Not Sean's ugly mug. No, Brendan's mug.
Brendan's perfect hair is what I was trying to get out there as usual. But our video today is actually about money management, and this is more along the lines of managing your trading account or investment account, when you might want to be putting funds in, taking it out, and managing risk as well, which I know is going to be front of mind for a lot of people. So that's why we do these videos for you. So check that one out. Valeria has dropped the link, so you can see it on our Market Wisdom channel. There we go. My button not necessarily working to take it off the screen, so if you guys can get it out of there. There is one thing left for us to do here. We didn't get to 2,000 likes. That makes me sad. First things first. And I forgot to mention this, but we're getting very, very close to 100,000 subscribers, guys. That's very exciting for all of us, so I want to thank each and every one of you for both watching the show and for continuing to support us. We get to 100K, we got something special planned for you, so let's see if we can't get to that number next week. For the entire team, Valeria, I didn't see the mouse the second time, so I think you're good. Sean Katina, my good friend, and Brandon Wickens with the perfect hair. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you next week, and happy Thanksgiving.